Very rare to see a streak like this. 1966. Where were you in 66? We'll be back with more live coverage of Mainland versus Holy Spirit on Simon's Cable Channel 2 right after this.
In 1992, two great heavyweight champions turned in award-winning performances. When it was over, Riddick Bowe was the new champion. A year later, there was a sequel. It was another classic. This time, Evander Holyfield got his revenge. Bowe and Holyfield will fight again. Only one can be the best heavyweight in the world. Live from Caesar's Palace on pay-per-view, Saturday, November 4th.
My fellow Americans, our future is bright. The World Wrestling Federation has given us great, wholesome family entertainment. Together, we can reach a new plateau, and the new WWF generation will lead us there.
Join Mr. President live from our nation's capital for the greatest night in sports entertainment. Milton Bradley Karate Fighters presents the WWF Survivor Series, November 19th on pay-per-view.
So join my family and watch the WWF Survivor Series.
Well, Chuck, we're down here with just about 10 minutes to go till kickoff, and I cannot believe the tremendous crowd that's forming.
Going on?
I don't think I've ever seen this many people here this early for a high school football game. Back to you, Chuck.
All right, we're back in the booth up here. Chuck Betson, Ken Williams, and Wilbert Montgomery arrived. Former Philadelphia Eagle Wilbert Montgomery with us in the booth. Mainland versus Holy Spirit. Electric atmosphere here in Linwood. They sold about 3,000 tickets this week prior to the game. You see some of the crowd there. This is one of the more emotional rivalries. Wilbert Montgomery, welcome to the Mainland Holy Spirit game.
Chuck, glad to be here, but the mic is not working.
Yeah, it's
right.
You're on. You're fine.
I'm on now. Okay. Chuck is glad to be here. I tell you what, you can see the crowd is really pumped for this ball game.
All right, Wilbert Montgomery will be joining us along with Ken Williams. There you see the crowd here in Linwood. Again, Mainland comes in unbeaten at 6-0. Holy Spirit comes in at 2-3. Of course, they come off two tough losses to Absecon and Ocean City. And of course, tonight, Ken Williams, we forgot to mention this, Eddie Burns is going for victory number 100, so let's add some more fuel to the fire.
Pressure pack, Chuck. I haven't seen a crowd here this big, I guess that's back in the 70s. Like I said before, I spent 28 years of my life here, and we've had some good teams. But there are people here tonight, Chuck, I haven't seen since their kids graduated in the early 70s. So this is just a festive night in Linwood.
Okay, of course, Ken Williams, you've been part of this remarkable streak. You coached here at Mainland during it, and you have told me that whatever can go wrong for Mainland seems to go wrong in this game.
Well, it's one of those situations, Chuck, where you expect the unexpected. And, we've had teams in the past where we thought we had real good shots at winning, and Holy Spirit came over here ready to play and outplayed us. And there were times when a break here or a break there decided the game. But I think that the Mustangs have as good a shot tonight as they've had in many, many a year.
All right, Wilbert Montgomery, a lot of pressure on these teams. What can both coaches do to take some of the pressure off both these squads?
At this point here, Chuck, you can't do anything. It's up to the players right now. You just got to go in and tell them now when they come out on the game, just relax and play good football. If we don't go out and make any mistakes, we stand a great chance of winning this ball game. That's on both sides of the ball. I think that if the coaches put that and plant that seed into the heads of the kids, they'll be ready to play. It should be an exciting ball game.
All right, we want to welcome Wilbert Montgomery to the broadcast booth. He joins us. He's been doing a lot of high school football on Simon's Cable Channel 2. Wilbert, you've seen Holy Spirit, and you feel there's a key in the ball game for Holy Spirit tonight. He is number 20, Donnie McNellis.
Well, yes, I think Donnie does. He brings a lot to this Holy Spirit ball game. In the last two ball games, he's been absent because of an injury that he received in the Ocean City ball game. But again, here's a kid that basically can come into this ball game with his speed and his exciting quickness. That's what he brings into the backfield for Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is basically, they have Paul Smith, who basically is a thoroughbred, a power horse guy. But, Chuck, he's the guy.
All right. Paul, there you see some of the key players for the Spartans on the screen. Eddie Burns, he's thrown 5 touchdown passes this year for the Spartans. Paul Smith, the leading rusher. Favorite receiver, Joel Fishbein. Bernie Marzak, there's a famous name from the greater Atlantic City area. What a great family that has been. Of course, his brother Pete at Penn State. Talk about the Marzak family, Ken Williams.
Chuck, as fine a family as ever come out of South Jersey. The father, Stan, coached years ago at Holy Spirit, just a fine individual, and his wife, Kathleen. They've raised their children to be outstanding citizens. Bernie is the last of the group. One is now playing at Penn State, one played at William & Mary, one now is at Trenton State, and like I said, Bernie is the last one. And I just can't say enough about the Marzak family and Stan and Kathleen, and just outstanding individuals.
All right, and Mark Ryder has had a great year for the Spartans at guard. He's a player to watch, along with defensive end Kirk Luzinski. And as Holy Spirit Spartans come on the field, and they're walking on, Ken Williams, a little bit of psychological warfare here. Eddie Burns leading his troops out, and they're walking right in front of the mainland section here. What's this, Ken?
Well, I don't know, Chuck. The psychological things that they've done for years has worked, so I'm sure it's a little psych to get his kids up. I'm sure that he wants them to see the crowd, to hear the jeers that are coming probably up from the mainland side, and hopefully that will get his kids a little bit more psyched up than they normally would be.
Hey, Wilbert, Montgomery, how much does psychology play in a big game like this? Is it any factor at all, or is it a factor?
Chuck, the biggest factor of this ball game is when you kick the ball off. Once the kickoff goes down and the other team receives it, and you make that first initial contact, all that goes out the window, and then it's time to really sit down and play football.
All right, and we're getting ready here for the entrance of the Mainland Mustangs. They're going crazy already here in Linwood. Packed house here at the Mustang Corral. There you see the Mustangs are getting ready to come out, Ken Williams.
Chuck, what you see here are the seniors. This is their last home game. And what Coach Coffey has done is he's brought all his seniors out as captains, and they will go out. They will go out for the coin toss and act as a group. And then once the coin is tossed, the rest of the Mustangs will come out from the gate to our left as you're looking at the screen.
You know, riding around through the neighborhood today, they had green and white all over Summers Point, Northfield, and Linwood. And here come the Mainland Mustangs. They're trying to end 29 years of frustration here tonight in Linwood. It's been since 1966 since they were able to forge a victory over Holy Spirit. And Ken Williams and Wilbert Montgomery, there's been some great names on the Mainland side that have played in this series and have been unable to come away with a victory. I'm talking about linebacker Greg Buttle, who went on to Penn State and had a great career and went on to play with the New York Jets. Also talking about Douglas Strang, the fine quarterback for the Mustangs, who went on to play at Penn State and threw 19 touchdown passes for the Nittany Lions as a junior. And there you see the key players tonight for Mainland, Ken and Wilbert. Jeff Boyd tied for second in South Jersey with touchdown passes. Kenny, he's thrown 11 already this year.
Outstanding athlete, good basketball player. He stepped in when people did not think he had a chance, and he has taken this team to the heights that they are now. And a lot of that is strictly because of Jeff Boyd. He runs the option well. He throws that fade pass very well to Dave Klemick, and he is a big part of the balance that Mainland has shown so far.
And Dave Klemick tied for first in the entire South Jersey area for touchdown receptions with 7. And then Tony DeSalle, of course, the first time under the lights that they ran a play here, Ken Williams, DeSalle took it about 72 yards for a touchdown.
Yes, he did. And looking at that list, Tony Tedeschi, who is the fullback, number 48 there, he may be the leader of this group. He's only a junior. He's only about 5'8", 195 pounds, runs extremely well. But he's the heart and soul of this team, Chuck. He's the guy that when the chips are down, that steps to the forefront. And he's a key part of this club, even though he's only a junior.
All right, we'll go out for the coin toss. Again, if this game needed anything else, you got Eddie Burns going for his 100th win, Wilbert, and you've seen Holy Spirit the last 2 weeks. Haven't been able to get number 100.
He got turned away both times, Chuck, but the thing was that it was in both ball games all the way down to the finish. And the thing that we look at when you're looking at those kind of ball games, that the kids stayed in and they stayed out, and they fought from start to finish. If there's any good a chance, tonight is tonight that Eddie Burns can get his 100 win.
And how sweet that would be, Ken Williams, if he gets victory number 100 and he stops Mainland for going for the victory.
He can run for mayor of Galloway and probably win there, Chuck.
At least the mayor of Absecon. So there we have the coin toss, and we're going to get ready for action here at the Mustang Corral in Linwood. A lot of emotion in the air, electricity in the air. Again, Mainland playing under the lights this year, courtesy of one of their alumni, Jack Thomas from Charlie's, donated $75,000 here and enabled Mainland to play under the lights, Ken. And now we're going to have our national anthem live on Salmon's Cable Channel 2 from the Mustang Corral. All right, we're back with this special historic live broadcast of high school football on Simon's Cable Channel 2, Mainland Holy Spirit. That was a Mainland marching band doing the national anthem. Ken?
Chuck, there's one intangible in this game tonight, and I think we have not touched upon it, and that's the kicking game. Mainland has an excellent kicking game. Jason Feinberg, who was a soccer player who's now kicking, has been sick all week with a high fever. He's back. He seems to be 100% tonight. But I think the kicking game is a big plus for Mainland. I know talking to Coach Burns earlier, they're not real impressed with their kicking game. This kicking game with Feinberg could be a real key factor in this game tonight.
All right, and Wilbert Montgomery, you're still going to hold with, and there you see Holy Spirit holds a 23-0-1 edge in the last 24. Wilbert, when you were with the Eagles, was there a team you could never beat for 24 straight games?
Well, it was the Dallas Cowboys was always the team that everyone prided themselves on and whipping up on. But when you come down to on game day, Chuck, all things are done. The 11 touchdown passes, the 7 touchdown passes, the 100-yard day game gone. That's out of the window. It's a new ball game. The time start right now. It's a new beginning right now.
And I guess these kids will be anxious to get it teed off. There's been a lot of hype, Ken. Can you remember a week when there's been more hype over a high school football game?
No, I can't, Chuck. And I think the fact that it's under the lights has a big bearing also. But this is just this is unbelievable. They sold more tickets for this game than they sold for Thanksgiving Day games in the past, and that's usually a full house. But it is homecoming. I know there are a lot of ex-athletes that are here. A lot of the '89 team is here that was undefeated and did not get a chance to play against Holy Spirit. But as I walk through this crowd, there are a lot of former athletes here.
All right, Fishbein will try to kick it off. He had it on the tee twice, and it got blown off, and it gets blown off again. Back to receive for the Holy Spirit Spartans, number 19, Joe Fishbein.
That's 13, Paul Smith, I think.
Paul Smith also back for the Spartans, Ken. I thought that was number 10. So now they're going to have to hold it. Chris Broom's going to come out and hold it for Jason Feinberg, and we're going to get underway here on this historic night, the first live high school football game on Simon's Cable Channel 2, and we're underway. Kick's going to be fielded by Fishbein at the 15. He goes outside, tries to cut up. Good coverage by the Mainland Mustangs. Holy Spirit will take over. 1st and 10 at the 20. Wilbert Montgomery, you've seen Eddie Burns Jr., the quarterback. What do you like about this kid?
Well, Chuck, Eddie Burns Jr. can do so many things well. What they like to always get started off, they like to go in and run the running play to Paul Smith. And then this when Eddie Burns begin to get mellowed out because he got a strong arm and he's a great passer.
There it is. 5 touchdown passes this year for Ed Burns Jr. Trying to get win number 100 for his daddy, and he's doing it against the green team, as they like to refer to Mainland. Burns back, gives it off inside. And tough going that time for Smith, as the Mustang defense was right there to stop that. The Mustang defensive front, Marcus Perry, Ryan Herrigle, Pat Markowitz, and Dustin Grand. No gain that time, Ken Williams. The Mustangs were ready for that play.
Yeah, Chuck, Holy Spirit is in their wing tee, which they've used for years and years. I had said before the game I thought they would try to control the football, and they came out in that wing tee which is basically the offense they used for years before they went to the double wide out, and that's what they're in again.
All right, second and we'll call it 9.5 for the Spartans. They do use the shotgun as we saw the last 2 weeks, Wilbert. They're going to give it off inside. Smith again, and Smith gets about a yard that time as the Mustang defense ready for the task. At the bottom of the pile, number 52, Dustin Grand. 3rd down and 6, Wilbert Montgomery. Can we look for the shotgun here?
Well, definitely. I think they are going to come out with a shotgun. But, you know, one play here that's really going to be impressive is that this is when you look for Eddie Burns hitting the tight end right in the hash game.
All right, that is either Jim Barrett or Bob DeMary, so we'll watch that. And surprise us a little bit. They don't come out in the shotgun. It's going to take the snap from center. 3rd and 6 for Holy Spirit. Burns going to give run the football inside to Smith, and he's going to be short of the 1st down.
It's going to be about a yard short, it looks like, Chuck.
More than a yard, Ken. It's probably going to be about 2, maybe 2. And that'll set up a punting situation. So look at that right there. Ed Burns comes out and runs the football 3 times, Wilbert.
That's kind of surprising, Chuck. You know, basically that was a passing down. They needed 5 or 6 yards, and he opted to go with the run. He didn't go in the shotgun that time.
All right. Tony DeSalle awaits the Holy Spirit punt as the Spartans get ready to kick it away. Mainland held on the first series. Good pressure. The punt is blocked. The punt is blocked. It's picked up by Broom. He's got room. He's inside the 5. 1st down, Mainland.
Chuck, that was
the first big play of the game, Ken Williams.
That was Dustin Grandy that picked that ball out of the air and took it down inside the 5-yard line. Or inside the 10, it's on about the 6, so it looks like that the Mustangs are going to have the first shot. They've created the first turnover, and they're 1st and goal at about the 6.
1st and goal and the 7. Wilbert, good play that time by the special team.
The special team, the thing that surprised me, that the punter moved up a couple steps in order to punt the ball, Chuck.
All right, they pitch it out to DeSalle. He's got room, trying to go in, running for the flag. Touchdown, Mainland! The Mainland Mustangs get on the board first on a 7-yard run by Tony DeSalle with 9:17 left. Let's watch it again, Wilbert.
That's basically a simple play, and that play been hurting the Holy Spirit for the last 3 weeks. Just get the ball and run, use your speed, get into the outside, and a great opportunity to score, put points on the board right away, Chuck.
So the Mustangs strike quickly here in Linwood. They use the block punt, and now you'll get to see one of the better place kickers in the area, Jason Feinberg, attempt the extra point for Mainland. Chris Laird will hold. Holy Spirit jumps, and there's going to be a flag. Feinberg boots it through, but there was movement on the play. Wilbert, we mentioned that Holy Spirit has been hurt on outside containment.
Very much outside containment, Chuck. I think, they playing the option pretty, I think if look at it, they got too many men back in the inside and nobody standing on the outside to come up field to make the running back cut back inside towards the midst of everything.
Okay, so the Mainland Mustangs get a lot of pressure off their backs early here as DeSalle takes it in. 7-yard run, and now we will retry the extra point. Kick is down, it's up, and it's good. It's good with 9:17 left. The Mainland Mustangs 7, the Holy Spirit Spartans nothing, as Mainland uses the blocked punt. And again, Wilbert Montgomery, special teams very important in big games.
Special team is a third of the ball game. No matter how you look at it, that's an important phase of the ball game. When you go out there to punt the ball or receive the ball, you got to play solid football. You can't just relax on that. In that situation, Chuck, like I said earlier, the punter stepped up 3 yards in order to receive the punt, to punt the ball. And by doing so, that cost him the block punt.
All right, so Mainland looking for the first victory since 1966. An unbelievable streak. Really one of the more unique streaks in the state of New Jersey. When you look back and see how coaches change and players change and personnel changes, just amazing that it's been that long since Mainland won. And the last time Mainland won, Ken Williams, a fellow you know pretty well, Andy Prohaska, the last coach to beat Holy Spirit.
Yeah, Andy retired about 3 years ago, Chuck. I play golf with him often, and it was over at Bader Field in the rain in Atlantic City, and it's been a drought ever since.
And let's also remember in that game, George Landis returned a couple of punts in the rain.
Yeah, he had
for Mainland.
3 as a matter of fact, Chuck.
All right, Feinberg will kick it off for the Mustangs. They lead at 7-0, 9:17 left in the first period. Kicks it deep. It's going to be taken by Donnie McNellis. And we have a stoppage.
We're going to get an offside on Mainland, Chuck. They're going to have to kick this again. That clock should not have started because that should have been blown dead immediately. In high school, if you break the line of scrimmage, there's no play and it's stopped immediately. And I think you're going to get an offside here. Dead ball offside, so I don't know if the clock ran or not.
Mainland will kick it again.
Yeah.
Mainland will kick it again. Ken, do you have tonight's officials for us? Can you run down?
Yes, I do,
Tonight's
Chuck.
officials. Let's mention the referees.
Referee is Joe Pietropola, and the umpire is George Stetzer. The head linesman is Rich Sokeen. Field judge Frank Burbage, back judge Jeff Haynes, and the timer up here in the booth is Joe Roach.
All right, Wilbert, with a big pressure-packed game like this, how important was it for Mainland to get on the scoreboard first?
Well, you're playing at home, Chuck. You want to score first. You want to set the tone of the game, and that's what Mainland did. They came out, they helped them on 3 consecutive plays, and then they went out and blocked the punt on the 4th down. That's why they probably jumped offside this time on the kickoff, because they're so geared up and they're so hard for this ball game.
All right, Feinberg's going to kick it away. McNellis and Smith back deep for the Holy Spirit Spartans. Feinberg, former soccer player, kicks it deep. Smith takes it at the 5. Up to the 20. He's got a hole. Gets it out to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. Holy Spirit, their second offensive possession. The last time, Ken Williams, Eddie Burns showed a ground attack, and you mentioned you thought Holy Spirit was going to try to control the football here tonight.
I think they're still going to do the same thing, Chuck. They have a little better field position this time. They used Smith last time. I think, in fact, Smith ran the ball 3 times. Look for them maybe to open it up a little bit with a waggle. Look for them maybe to hit. In fact, they've gone to twins out here, and they've already come out of the wing.
All right, one back behind Eddie Burns Jr. as he looks over to Mainland Regional defense. Gives it off to Smith inside. Smith has room. Cuts out over the 35 to the 38-yard line. Paul Smith, the fine running back for the Holy Spirit Spartans. Wilbert, you like to watch him run?
Well, I like to watch Paul run mainly because of the fact is that he nitpicks his way through the ground. But with a quick team like you see in Mainland, he's going to have to get into the holes real quick, Chuck.
There you see that Mainland defense will run it down for you right after this play. 2nd and we'll call it 4 for Holy Spirit. The football at the 37. They give it to Smith again. Smith darts outside, gets away from one man, has some room to the outside, out to the 45, to the 46. 1st down, Holy Spirit. There's your man, Wilbert Paul Smith.
Again, Chuck, there's nothing fancy about that. That's basically just a handoff right up the middle, letting Paul Smith use his peripheral division. That was a great cut right there. There's another good cut. He got to the outside, and it was a good head-up tackle that he made.
Ken Williams, what kind of defense are the Mustangs in?
They're in a 4-4, Chuck. They take that backer and walk him off to cover the twins out here and wind up with Jason Cairns in the middle. And Jason Cairns is another fine player for the Mustangs who's playing that middle backer right now.
All right, Holy Spirit's going to give it to Smith again. He's been the workhorse for this Holy Spirit offense. He's carried it 5 straight times now, and that time, not much room against the Mustang defense.
We got a penalty here, Chuck.
Penalty flag is down.
Now maybe that was his beanbag he threw.
Okay, no flag, Ken.
No flag, okay.
2nd down and 9. Mainland's defense up to the task there. Stop Smith for a gain of about 1. Holy Spirit yet to throw a pass yet.
But this is the time that you come with the play-action pass, Chuck.
All right, Montgomery sending the play into Eddie Burns. Burns going to give it to Donnie McNellis. He's going to try to get outside. There's nothing there. Marcus Perry, the big defensive end, 6'1", 232-pound junior, was all over that play.
Chuck, that's their 7th play. That's the first carry for anyone other than Paul Smith. And big Marcus Perry on that corner came across and made a real nice defensive play.
And we have a player injured.
McNelly's down.
Donnie McNellis. He did not play last week, Wilbert Montgomery, of course.
Well, he's a key player right now, Chuck, and right now that's his first carry in 2 weeks, and you see that he's really still not ready to play right now. He's down on the ground, and basically it was nothing fancy about that. He had a chance to go up into the hole, and the hole was stuffed. He tried to get to the outside, and that's when the pursuit caught up with him.
All right, while McNellis is injured, it's 3rd and 15. Ken Williams, tell us a little bit about some of your more emotional moments in this series as they take McNellis off.
They were all emotional, but for the most part, they weren't happy emotion. It was sad emotion. We had a lot of close calls. We had a lot of great games. And, I was an assistant, I guess, for 14 or 15 years, and head coach for 5 or whatever it was. And we just could never come up with that big play.
3rd and 15. Eddie Burns Jr. in the shotgun. He has Fishbein over the middle, complete. He's got a first down. So Eddie Burns showed you his arm that time, hit Joel Fishbein, his favorite receiver, Wilbert Montgomery. That's the gun you're talking about.
That's the gun I'm talking about, Chuck. There's nothing but fancy about that. That's what they call a post route. It's a quick slant in. Eddie Burns threw off the back heels. He was falling back as he was throwing the ball because the pursuit was in on him. Here's a kid that has a strong arm to say just being a junior, Chuck.
He really does have a strong arm. And Wilbert, you think he's got legitimate Division 1A potential?
Without a doubt. The way you look at the kid, or you look at him how he sits tall and stands in the pocket and he throws the ball through. He follows through most of the time.
1st and 10 for Holy Spirit. The football at the Mainland 41. They give it off inside. Ulrich on the carry, number 27. Kevin Ulrich gets his first carry of the night. It's about 5 yards, Ken.
Yeah, his dad, Chuck, is an assistant on the staff. Former Mainland player, played at Villanova. He's another former Mainland player that played in this game that has never won, and now he's coaching for the first time, but he's coaching on the other side tonight, and that's his son, who's the tailback.
So many different little side stories. Of course, Bobby Coffey, the Mainland coach, went to Holy Spirit, was part of this series. You just mentioned Ulrich. So many intertwined little sidebars involved in this game. There you see it. Mainland coach Bob Coffey, a graduate of Holy Spirit, Ken Williams.
And won every time he played over there, and since he's been here at Mainland, and he's been a head coach, I guess, for 9 years, and he was an assistant for 4 or 5, and he came up dry, and we're kind of hoping tonight that he's the first one to break that streak.
All right, clock is going to move here with 6:09 left. Mainland leads at 7-0. Holy Spirit putting together a good drive here. 2nd and 7, the football at the 38-yard line. Alcine Washington in the game now for Donnie McNellis, and they give it to Paul Smith. We're going to have a motion flag. A motion flag is, I think, Washington left a little early. This will be called back for illegal motion. There, Wilbert, you see a ball player get in. He leaves a little bit too soon.
A little bit too soon, kid. You know, a kid just coming in off the sideline, replacing Don McNally. He's coming in. He's anxious. He want to get on his block real soon. He moved a little bit, and that's going to cost him 5 yards on that play.
All right, so they'll march off 5, and that'll set up a 2nd and 10 for Holy Spirit. The last completion from Burns to Fishbein was the first time we had seen the shotgun tonight, Ken, and that's unusual because Holy Spirit, as Wilbert knows, has been using a lot of shotgun this season. Not using it much tonight yet.
I think he's going to use it in crucial situations, but it's tough to maintain ball control with that shotgun, and I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to keep the ball away from the Mustangs.
All right, 2nd and 10. Now they're in the gun. Eddie Burns back to pass. He's got time. He throws it to Fishbein, complete. 2 flags down. Fishbein to the 23. 2 penalty flags on that play, Ken, and we'll await the officials' ruling. The completion was good.
Whatever it was, they both saw it, Chuck.
Has to be off defensive interference because, too, the receivers basically going upfield and coming
Watch the replay, Wilbert.
It's basically, that's a great pass, Chuck. And again, it's something thrown early towards the line of scrimmage because it could have been easily both ways, but it had to be some kind of holding somewhere.
Air interference. Wilbert Montgomery right on the mark. Eagle eye. It'll be a first down. Holy Spirit will decline the penalty. First down for the Spartans. The football at the 24-yard line. They trail 7-0. Very important, Ken. Eddie Burns looks good early throwing the football.
Yes, he does, Chuck. You know, and another key to this game tonight, and these are the only 2 teams in the Cape Atlantic League that go strictly 2 platoon. So this factor in the 4th quarter that Mainland has had a big plus probably will not be the case tonight because these teams both play 22 kids, 11 on each side of the football.
1st and 10 for Holy Spirit. The football at the 24. They give it to Smith. He tries to find a hole, cuts back inside, and nothing there that time. As Mainland's defense, Jason Kearns defines 6'2", 230-pound senior linebacker Ken Williams. He's a key player tonight for the Stang.
Yes, he's a tough kid, Chuck. He's a real outstanding player. He's a boy who got hurt early in the season, and I thought at one point had some definite college potential, and I think he still does. Has nice size. Outstanding football player.
2nd down and 8 for Holy Spirit. They have a pretty big offensive line. This offensive line has played well for the Spartans. Burns fakes it to Smith, flag down, in the flat to Ulrich, incomplete. He dropped the football. May have another motion penalty here against Holy Spirit. And Ken, the officials busy early here.
Busy early, Chuck, and it's more respect. You think you got a holding. Could be a holding.
Motion.
Motion?
Ulrich left a little early, so that'll come back 5 yards for illegal motion.
You know my feelings. Let the kids play is what I say. Let them play.
We're not going to get you in trouble. Hey, and Wilbert, we got to welcome back Ken Williams. This is his first broadcast back with the Betson Connection in Simon's Cable Channel 2 since he underwent triple bypass heart surgery. Welcome him back.
Ken, it's a pleasure to have you. Anybody can go through something like that. There's more man and better man than I am.
And he looks good tonight, too.
It's my pleasure to work with you. I've seen you play numerous times, and I've admired you, and it's my pleasure to be up here in the booth with you.
Hey, all right, listen, we got a big play here. 3rd and 8 for Holy Spirit. They trail 7-0. 4:35 left. Eddie Burns back to throw, being pressured by Perry. He's got Smith in the flat. Smith at the 10, 5, touchdown, Holy Spirit. We'll call it a 23-yard pass from Eddie Burns Jr. to Paul Smith. Let's watch it again. Wilbert, take over.
That's all you do is basically throw and catch and let the catcher become a ball carrier. Let him run with the ball. And Paul Smith just said once he got the ball in his arm, he just smelt the goal line all the way. The kid just was hungry for a payday.
Yes, he was, and he got into the end zone.
Chuck, that's the play that they used against Cumberland with a lot of success, where he fakes him the football, he loses, gets lost at the line of scrimmage, he sneaks out through a crack, and winds up in that flat. And they've had a lot of success with that this year, and Mainland's going to have to stop that.
All right, now, Holy Spirit's going to go for 2 here. Ken mentioned the kicking game, very important in this game. 2-point conversion for the Spartans. They trail 7-6. Burns back to throw, looking for Fishbein, threw it behind him. Incomplete. So with 4:27 left in the first period, the score, Mainland 7, Holy Spirit 6. There's that kicking game you said was going to be important.
So far, it's been a big factor. A blocked punt. Fishbein is wide open on this, Chuck. Eddie Burns Jr. just got that ball behind him a little bit. You'll see that play again.
It was wide open. Wilbert?
Yeah, well, Kevin Ory was the primary receiver I thought was in that route there. And when he slipped out there, it basically threw out Eddie Burns, and Eddie Burns had to look for a secondary receiver. When he went to a secondary receiver, he went a little bit too late.
He may be, Wilbert, he may be one of the best quarterbacks in this league as far as hitting second and third receivers. We saw him last year numerous times come off his receiver and hit secondary receivers. He's just a fine athlete.
I think he's a tremendous athlete, and I can see a young man with that kind of pause to sit in there knowing that the pressure's on you and be able to stand tall in the pocket and get rid of the ball. I think that's a tremendous asset for a young man at this stage in his career.
And he gets that from his mother, Chuck. I don't know if he gets that from his father. I think he gets that from his mother, Louise.
All right. 7-6 here, 4:27 left. Coming to you live. We bring this historic broadcast to you on Simon's Cable Channel 2, courtesy of the Betson Connection. Chuck Betson, Wilbert Montgomery, and Kenny Williams in the booth, and we've got a good one here in Linwood. This game is always an emotional one, and this year much more so than ever. Short kick taken straight up the middle. I believe that's Tony Tedeschi. I'm going to pronounce that right before the season's over, Ken.
I talked to his dad. His dad said, don't worry about it. I think
good return. Got it out to the 40, and Mainland's got good field position.
Chuck, 7.5 minutes going in the first quarter. Mainland has 7 points, is in the lead, but they've only run one offensive play. And I think if you talk to Coach Burns, this is exactly what he wanted to do. So at this point, his game plan has pretty much materialized, even though he's down by a point.
All right, Jeff Boyd rolls out. He's got Klimek wide open downfield. He hits him at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mainland! A 60-yard pass play from Jeff Boyd to Dave Klimek. Wilbert Montgomery, he was wide open.
Wide open, Chuck was
Let's
totally
watch
right.
It again.
All it is a play pass action where he basically bootleg the ball around, pull the ball in his stomach, and hit the running back down the field, the receiver Kevin down the field, and he just basically practically walks into the end zone. Wide open, Chuck. But the key thing on that play, on that bootleg, Chuck, you look at the interior guard come around and make a tremendous block on the outside. He's the one that made that play work. Not so much of the pass. The guard came around the horn, was able to block the linebacker.
13-6 Mainland. Jason Feinberg will try to make it 14-6 with the PAT. Snap is down, kick is up. It's good. It's good. So with 4 minutes left in the first period here, the Mustang Corral in Linwood. Mainland 14, Holy Spirit 6. Ken?
Chuck, you run 2 offensive plays in the first quarter, and both of them go for touchdowns. What more could you want?
Unbelievable.
Mainland is a big play team, Chuck. The majority of their touchdowns this year have been on plays of 35 yards or more. This one being a 60-yarder. where Jeff Boyd bootleg, came back, and hit that split end. Dave Clemmings streaking up the sideline. It was wide open.
All right. We promised this would be action-packed, and it certainly is, as Mainland has 2 offensive plays. I think we may go down to Lucy Jones. She may have a sideline report ready for us. We'll get Lucy hooked up here.
If we can see that.
Let's go down to Lucy.
Well, Chuck, we just got an injury report from the Holy Spirit Spartans. Number 20, McNellis, has a sprained Achilles tendon and may return to the game later. Right now, they are not sure. Back to you, Chuck.
Okay, thanks for that report, Lucy Jones. On the injury, Donnie McNellis, key player, Wilbert Montgomery for Holy Spirit.
Donnie McNelly, you know, he's out of the game right now. They're going to miss him dearly, but they're going to have to still play the game, Chuck. One guy can't be your bread and butter guy, but they're going to have to sit down, buckle down, and play. They was able to move the ball down the field and able to come up with something big early on.
That's a case, Chuck, where he hurts an ankle and turns around after he hurts an ankle and favors that ankle and winds up pulling his Achilles tendon.
All right, Feinberg's going to kick it away for Mainland. They lead at 14-6. Fishbine's going to take it at the 7. Takes it up the middle, trying to find some room, and not much there as a Mainland special team do a good job containing, although Fishbine broke out of that pile, got it out to about the 27-yard line where Holy Spirit will set up 1st and 10. And Ken, you're right, 2 offensive plays for Mainland, 2 touchdowns. Wilbert, this is a big green offense here tonight.
Chuck, this is a big green offense. You see that they got striking power. They can score from anywhere on the field. But, you know, Chuck, the Holy Spirit has been victimized from week after week with the big play. And they got to do something on that defensive end to stop the big play.
No question about it. 1st and 10 for Holy Spirit. They trail 14-6. They give it off inside. Not much room there at all. Paul Smith stopped for about a gain of a half yard. 52. Dustin Grands had a big game early for Mainland, Ken.
That's Dustin Grandy. He's the one that picked up the punt. I don't know who blocked that punt, Chuck, but Grandy did pick up the ball in the air and took it down to the 6 or 7 yard line.
3:13 left. We've had an eventful first quarter. All kinds of big plays already in this football game. We're bringing it to you live on Simon's Cable Channel 2. Eddie Burns back to throw. He's looking, almost intercepted as he tried to hit his tight end over the middle, and it was almost picked off as Mainland had good defensive coverage that time.
That was Matt Cusio, the linebacker, Chuck, who almost picked that off. Matt Cusio's a junior. He alternates in there with Wagner and Cairns, and made a nice play there, almost another turnover.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised throw because, too, he was in double coverage at that point, at that time. But he was trying to get rid of the ball, and that basically could have been a dangerous pass.
All right, 3rd down and 11 for Holy Spirit. They're in the shotgun. Burns back to throw. He drops the football, and he recovers it, but he's going to be sacked as he fumbled that snap from center. Mainland in on top of him, and that's going to force our first punt of the evening. Let's watch it, Wilbert.
Well, yeah, basically, as you see here, Chuck, it's basically, you know, it was a great snap. You know, it could have been something wrong with the snap, but it was a great snap because the center was snapping the ball and trying to get to the outside to block a linebacker that's coming off the horn around the corner.
Chuck, Mainland sent the house that time. They sent all 4 down people, and they sent 3 linebackers. So they sent 7 and tried to force him to throw the ball quickly. He dropped it instead.
All right, there's the snap as Lazinski gets it away, almost blocked. They run into Lazinski. It's going to be roughing the kicker. It's going to be roughing the kicker as Kenyatta Brown went for the block. He hit Kirk Lazinski. Ken, that play will come back as he did not get the football.
I think that's going to be a first down, Chuck.
Definitely going to be a first down.
Well, they have 15 yards to go. It's going to be very close.
Roughing the kicker is always first.
I think it's in high school it's a first down, Chuck. I'm not positive, but I think it is.
All right. Kenyatta Brown broke through, almost had the block, and ran in to Lazinski. And it's going to be roughing the kicker, so Holy Spirit gets a break here with a roughing the kicker penalty.
God, Mainland would have had field position. They'd have had the ball at about the 40-yard line. They'd have had another good field position.
Let's look at the Mainland coaches since the last victory over Holy Spirit. Tony Gallupo, Dave Bryant, George Landis, Jim Schaefer. Look at that, Wilbert. Ken Williams couldn't beat Holy Spirit, and Bobby Coffey.
We can erase that, can't we, Wilbert?
I don't think so, Ken. I think you go down in the record book along with that.
I'm there.
All right, Eddie Burns gives it off inside, and Paul Smith's got room. He's at the 40, all the way down to the 35-yard line. Paul Smith, 5'9", 180-pound senior for the Holy Spirit Spartans, got some room up the middle and broke it right through Wilbert Montgomery. Let's watch it again.
That's basically nothing fancy, Chuck. Like I said, he nitpicks his way. If he didn't stumble right there, Chuck, he possibly could have took that ball all the way. Paul Smith, that's a good 20-yard, 27-yard run that he was able to pick up. And two, the kid got quickness, Chuck.
First down for Holy Spirit, the football at the 35-yard line. The Spartans trail it 14-6. We're still in the first quarter, believe it or not. Under 2 minutes remaining. Give it off to Ulrich. Ulrich, a flag down. Ulrich on a counter delay, and he got about 8 yards, but an official threw a flag, and we'll have to await the call.
That came from the linesman, Chuck, so I have no idea what that is. Unless it's some kind of a crackback block.
Let's watch the replay. Wilbur, tell us about what this play is.
It's nothing there. I don't see anything wrong right there, Chuck. It's basically, the flag came in late, so it could have been something downfield that happened. Could have been like a face mask calling.
It might be a face mask. Again, it is against Mainland.
Because at the line of scrimmage, everything was clean there.
You like the way that play developed at the line of scrimmage, Wilbert. It was a counter trap with Ulrich, as of course they're keying on Smith now. They ran the counter, and they're going to add on yardage to this play. They're going to take it down inside all the way down to the 10-yard line. Face mask it is, Wilbert Montgomery. So you're right on the mark. The former Eagle telling you what's happening here on Simon's Cable Channel 2's coverage of Cape Atlantic League football. Mainland's going to take a time out here. Ken, why take a time out here?
I think just to settle them down. They made a bad play roughing the kicker. They allowed a big gain, and then they came back with a penalty on top of it. Okay, and I think he just wants to settle them down at this point, get them under control so they can go back and play the defense they've been playing.
You're right, Ken, because there's 30 yards in penalties in two series of play. You got to settle the team down a little bit and let them play hard-nosed defense again.
Yeah, they have, that's right, 30 yards and an automatic first down in this series. And again, they're mistakes, and those mistakes, again, are in a game like this are crucial.
Let's look at the Holy Spirit coaches during the streak. Lou Paludi, Jimmy Gallagher, and Eddie Burns. So a lot less coaches at Holy Spirit than over here at Mainland, Ken.
I guess when we couldn't beat Holy Spirit, we decided to get out, Chuck.
Big turnover on that Mustang coaching staff, and just about every coach that's been involved in this series has memories of it one way or the other. Again, the most emotional rivalry here in the greater Atlantic City area, and we're happy we can bring it to you live, an historic broadcast on Simon's Cable Channel 2. Chuck Betson, Wilbert Montgomery, Kenny Williams, all part of the Betson Connection coverage team here tonight. $1:42 left. They give it to Smith on a straight dive, and he gets about 3 yards. That'll set up a 2nd and 7 for the Spartans. Ken, when you look at the ebb and flow of this game, Mainland has struck quickly on 2 plays, but Holy Spirit's moved the ball some.
Yeah, and I think that's probably, if I was in Coach Burns' shoes, what I would probably be trying to do is maintain ball control, because Mainland is a big play team. You saw that. Now, the first play, they only had to go 8 yards, but they did score. They have a lot of bounce, a lot of weapons, and they've made the big play all year. Holy Spirit has given up the big play all year, so they've got to counteract that.
2nd and 7 for Holy Spirit. Eddie Burns is back to throw. He's got time. He looks. It's incomplete. Intended for Paul Smith. Good coverage that time in the flat by number 44, Casey Heemskirk. Good defensive linebacker for the Mustangs, Ken.
Yeah, we have Casey's brother Benji up there, who's a freshman quarterback who's keeping our stats for us tonight. And so far he's doing a real fine job, and he's a quarterback on the Mustang freshman team. And when his brother Casey goes this year, I'm sure you'll see Benji here in another couple years.
All right, Wilbert, 3rd and 7. Would send the play into Eddie Burns. What are you going to run here?
Basically, I think he's going to go back to, get up under the center and use the bootleg, come off the play action. He has to do that because the run play up the center has been going really well for him, faking to Paul Smith.
All right, let's see if that's what they run. And it's exactly what they run. Wilbert Montgomery calls the play. It is complete. Incomplete. Montgomery called the play. It was intended for Bob DeMary. They ran the bootleg. It was there, Wilbert. They just couldn't execute.
It took a little bit of time. It was off. Again, it's a good play fake right here to Paul Smith. He picks up the block, and then he throws it. And it's a little bit behind him. If it's a little bit in front of him, Chuck, it could have been easily a touchdown.
A little bit behind him. Cornell Davis in to break that play up. And Montgomery, what are you doing? Reading Eddie Burns' mind here?
Coach, when you got a balanced attack going so well, you have to do that.
All right, 4th down for the Spartans. They're going, Wilbert. 4-down territory. They're in the shotgun. Ed Burns back to throw. Pressure. They set up the screen to Smith. He's got blockers. He cuts it in. He's inside the 5, but he's
short of the first down. Nice call, Chuck. Mainland sent everybody again. They came basically from the right side, and he runs a little slip screen to the left.
It's a good screen play, Chuck, but he should have stayed to the outside. If he stayed to the outside, he'd have had the first down.
You're right. Wilbert Montgomery, he had the wall set up, and Smith just cut that back inside. The wall was set. Mainland sent half the population of Linwood, Summers Point, and Northfield that time.
Well, it's very obvious now what they're going to do, so I think you're going to see some more screens. You're liable to see some draws to counteract that big rush when he's in the shotgun.
1st and 10 for Mainland. They take over on downs. A football at the 5-yard line. 33 seconds left in the first period. They give it off to Sal, and Sal was stopped initially and got about 3 yards on his own.
Well,
before Holy Spirit's defense was there to make the tackle.
Andrew
Hunt on the tackle, Ken.
That's their 3rd offensive play, and that's going to be the last play in the first quarter.
But tell you what, you saw the quarterback, Jeff Boyd, out there throwing a block for the running back.
You don't see that too much, do you,
Don't
Wilbert
see it too
Montgomery?
much on a high school, pro, or college level.
All right, this will be the last play of the first quarter, and they don't get it off. They don't get it off. Last play of the first quarter with the score. The Mainland Mustangs 14, the Holy Spirit Spartans 6. Ken Williams, exciting first quarter.
Very exciting, Chuck. A lot of offense. This is what the people came to see, and as I look around here now, they're just standing 6 and 7 deep all the way around the fence. All the bleachers are full. This is probably one of the largest, if not the largest crowd they've ever had at Mainland.
And look at the kids with their faces painted up here. You know what, Wilbert Montgomery? They were tailgating outside here before the game.
I know, Chuck. I couldn't get in. There was so many people. I was trying to step around. I had to put my uniform on and try to go run the ball a little bit.
Right, and there you see the crowd here at the Mustang Corral in Linwood. Ken Williams, they sold tickets in advance. I thought that was a good move by athletic director George Avinsky.
Yeah, it saved you from standing in line when you got here. And if it had rained, it would have been a better move because people bought the tickets, wouldn't have gotten a refund, so they'd have made some money that they wouldn't have gotten. You know, Chuck, while we got a minute here, let me just congratulate the Mainland girls field hockey team that beat Millville today 1-0. Catherine Sikowski had the goal that won the game. Abby Joseph has a shutout. If they win on Tuesday against Atlantic City, then they will wind up as American Conference field hockey champs, and this could be the first in a long time. I think they'll be dethroning Ocean City and Millville. Big accomplishment for the Mainland field hockey girls.
All right, thanks for that report. Wilbert, what did you see in the first quarter? What kind of momentum, what kind of gauge do you have on this football game?
Well, you know what? It's hard to gauge what the Mainland can do because they score so quickly on 2 plays. But on the other side of the ball with Holy Spirit, what they're doing, they're trying to mix it up a little bit. Play action, run, bootleg, drop back. They're trying to do it all. Shotgun too, Chuck.
All right, Mainland has it. Boyd keeps it on the option, and he's been effective with that all year. Jeff Boyd, son of former Ocean City basketball coach Jack Boyd. What a year he's had for the Mustangs. And Ken Williams, a lot of his success, he has quick feet.
Very good feet, Chuck. I guess he gets that from basketball, but he runs the option well. I saw Jeff come in this program as a freshman, had never played before. They did not use him as a quarterback. He came in as a sophomore and was a backup quarterback and has just come into his own here, and he's just a real nice kid and a hard worker.
All right, Boyd has 12 touchdown passes on the year for Mainland. 3rd and less than a yard. Motion. They give it off outside to the big fire plug fullback, Tony Tedeschi, and he has the first down, Ken Williams.
Tough runner, Chuck. He's the guy that they go to in crucial situations, and when the chips are down, Tony's the guy that's going to pull them out of the hole.
They have a lot of weapons on this offensive football team for Mainland. They also have a good back in John Stone, and he hasn't even carried the ball yet tonight, Ken Williams.
No, they have a lot of diversity, Chuck, and I think that's been their success all year.
1st and 10 for Mainland. Football at the 20. Stone goes in motion. Boyd back to throw. He's got Clemick in the flat. Clemick catches it, makes 2 Holy Spirit defenders miss, and gets about 7 yards. Dave Klemick, the fine wide receiver, he's caught 8 touchdown passes on the year, and he now has the lead of all wide receivers in South Jersey. Wilbert,
It's
what do they
basically
run?
a quick throw, Trey. That's a quick action pass, get the receiver in the ball's hand, and let him become a running back. And you know what I liked about that, Chuck? The guy caught the ball in his hands. You know, hands and eye coordination is very important. If you can teach it at this stage here, he's going to go on to be a great receiver.
So he's probably the finest athlete on this team.
Second and less than a yard for the Mustangs. Football just at the 29. DeSalle in motion. They give it off inside to Tedeschi. He's going to be close to the first down. I'm going to use the Hawkeyes of Ken Williams. Ken, does he have it?
Yes, he's got it, Chuck. He's got it by at least the length of the football.
And Ken Williams right on the mark. First down, Mainland. They lead 14-6. They're trying to end Ken Williams' 29 years of frustrations. Hey, Wilbert, what were you doing in 1966? You were still in grade school.
1966, you were right, Chuck. I was still playing around. I was just beginning to think about playing football, but not at this point, Chuck.
First and 10 for Mainland. Boyd rolls out right. He's got time. He's going to keep it, still on his feet, and gets about a yard before he's stopped by Dean Bennett, 5'10", 190-pound junior linebacker for the Holy Spirit Spartans.
Chuck, 1966, I was worried if I was ever going to get out of college.
It's just an amazing streak. Unbelievable that it's been 29 years, and we mentioned some of the fine players that have been part of this series. And look at the crowd out here, people. We're glad we can bring it to you on Simon's Cable Channel 2. Second and 9 for Mainland. They lead 14-6. 9:20 remaining in the second period. Boyd back to throw. Quick hitter to Klemick. Klemick's going to be taken down by Ryan Ojeda. Good tackle that time by number 31, Ryan Ojeda, as the quick pass to Klemick. Wilbert, that's been there 3 times.
That's a great pass right there, because all you're trying to do is pick up good 5 yards, and once the receivers go 5 yards, turn around and try to gain yard. That was a good play, Chuck.
Ken Williams?
I think that Jeffrey Boyd might have audibled that at the line of scrimmage, Chuck, because Holy Spirit had a 9-man front. They dropped that defensive back a little bit off of Klemick and gave him a little room, and that's where he threw the football.
All right, pitch to DeSalle, and we have a flag. This will probably be called back for motion. So the key penalty there is it was 3rd and 3, and a motion penalty going to be called against the Mainland Mustangs, and they'll have to back up 5 yards.
The amazing thing about Mainland running this wing T, Chuck, is for some reason they don't utilize the tight end a lot, and that's very unusual in the wing T. They have an outstanding young sophomore, Todd Michael, playing that tight end, and he has not gotten a lot of passes this year, but they have not had to use him either.
All right, Mainland offensive line, Bill Brown, Greg Stoll, T.J. Wolf, Matt Levinson, Buddy Broom, and Todd Michael. Boyd keeps it on a bootleg, tries to get away from one man, gets away from him, going to be thrown out of bounds short of the first down. Jeff Boyd on the keeper that time, did not get the first. It'll be a punting situation for the Mainland Mustangs, Ken.
And Boyd is the punter, Chuck, and he's an excellent punter.
And when you have Boyd as the punter, you also have the threat of the fake punt. Not that they would run it here.
Not here,
but
I
it's
don't
something
think.
you have to be aware of.
Yes.
It's your Holy Spirit, Wilbert.
Oh, definitely. You can't, like I said, the kicking game, special teams is a third of the offense or defense. You can't forget and lull yourself to sleep.
Boyd back to kick. He gets it away. It's going to bounce in front of Smith and go out of bounds here. So, with 8:20 left in the second period here from the Mustang Corral in Linwood, the score, Mainland 14, Holy Spirit 6. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
In 1992, 2 great
All right, we're back with Cape Atlantic League football on Salmon's Cable Channel 2. We missed a play there. Straight dive to Paul Smith. It'll be 2nd and 8. The football at the 43-yard line. Eddie Burns back in the shotgun for the Spartans. Don McNellis back in the game, Wilbert Montgomery indicates. Burns back to throw. Incomplete. Intended over the middle for his tight end, and a flag down on the play. Wilbert Montgomery may have some pass interference.
Got some pass interference and got someone tearing up the top of the press box here, Chuck.
Ken Williams didn't like that call.
He called a holding on that,
Chuck.
Chuck.
Down over there.
He called a hold on that, but from where that flag came, man, I don't know.
All right. Be an automatic first down for Holy Spirit. Football at the 46. The Spartans trail 14-6. 7:46 remaining here in the second period. This has been just a quality football game already. Hang around, people. This will inevitably go down to the wire. Eddie Burns Jr. back to throw. Looking, has time. Going to step up now and try to run. Gets a block. Goes outside. And gets about 4 yards on the carry as Burns went back that time. Wilbert couldn't find anybody downfield.
Well, definitely, Chuck. He back in a little bit slowly, getting back, sitting up in the pocket. Here's the quarterback. He's kind of taking his time sitting back. Now that he's set, he starts scrambling. You know, he got to get back quickly, Chuck, to set his feet, stand tall so he can get rid of the ball.
2nd and we'll call it 7 for Mainland. A ball at the 43-yard line. Eddie Burns going to roll out. He's got time. Looks downfield, now being chased. Gets about a yard that time as Burns was looking downfield. Couldn't find a man open. He's looking for Fishbein. Good coverage by that Mainland secondary that time.
Excellent coverage in that secondary. He had no one to throw the ball to, so he tucked it up and picked up a couple. Big third down play here, Chuck.
3rd down and 6. Wilbert send a play into Eddie Burns. What will it be this time?
Well, at this point here, Chuck, you know, it's kind of hard to guess what's going to happen here, but I thought that they're going to play a little bit more ball control. He was looking for the home run ball right there, and it could have cost him dearly.
3rd down and about 6. The football at the 44, Holy Spirit. They trail 14-6, 6:23 left in the second period. Burns under pressure, gets it away, complete. First down. Hits Jimmy Barrett, his tight end. Mainland came with the blitz that time, Wilbert. Eddie Burns read it, went to the release valve, the tight end.
Well, Chuck, I think Eddie Burns does a great job of reading the blitz really well. You know, in the past, that's what I always talked about, them playing that hash game, getting the ball to the tight end quick when there's a blitz. He recognized that. He's able to unload the ball in the hands of the tight end.
And Ken, we mentioned the key could be, can Mainland get pressure without blitzing? They blitzed that time, they got burned.
They've blitzed quite a bit, Chuck.
1st and 10, they give it to McNellis. He gives it to Ulrich on a reverse. McNellis to Ulrich on an inside reverse, and got about 4 yards. That's that play, Ken Williams, you run off the wing tee.
Yeah, it's a wing back reverse, and they try to get them set the angles up front blocking. Okay, it's all angle blocking, and he tries to cut up in behind him, but wasn't much there that time.
Only got about a yard, so Mainland's defense shut that down. They stayed at home that time. They did not go for the initial fake. Eddie Burns back in the shotgun. 2nd and 9 for Holy Spirit. 5:27 left in the second. The Spartans trail 14-6. Eddie Burns Jr. back to throw. He's looking, trying to find somebody. Completes it out inside the 30.
That's little Joe Smith that caught that.
Joe Smith, and it's going to be a short gain. It will be short of the first down, Ken. Let's watch it again.
He's about 5'4", 140 pounds, so he's a little one, Chuck.
3rd and 5 for the Holy Spirit Spartans. This is probably 4-down territory here, Wilbert. We'll see if they run that bootleg again. Although they haven't set it up much because they haven't been running Paul Smith. Big 3rd down play for the Mustang defense. Now we have a flag.
We're in 4-down territory, Chuck.
Flag on a play, Ken.
This is an offside, Holy Spirit.
We'll await the referee's signal. Exactly right. Ken Williams right back on track here. And that really hurts because that turns a 3rd and 4.5 into a 3rd and 9.5.
Somebody lined up in the neutral zone, and Coach Burns is irate.
Eddie Burns is out in the field, and he's going to take a timeout here. with 4:41 left. There you see Eddie Burns. What is that scarf he has on tonight, Ken?
He's worn that for a while, Chuck. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it works against Mainland.
It's blue and gold, that's for sure. There's no green and white in that scarf. Mainland leads it 14-6. The Mustangs struck on a 7-yard run by Tony DeSalle after a blocked punt and a 60-yard pass from Jeffrey Boyd to Dave Clement. 2 big plays for the Mustangs. Holy Spirit scored on a strike from Eddie Burns Jr. to Paul Smith. And there you see us up in the booth here. Wave to everybody, hello. Wave to the people, Wilbert. Right here, and Bob Piparato joining us in the booth here from Simon's Cable Channel 2. And we're just so happy. I want to thank everybody at Simon's. You know, a lot of technicians came out here today, and we pulled up Ken Williams. It looked like Monday Night Football. We had so many Simon's trucks here.
I thought it was a cable convention.
Yeah, I thought that left town 2 weeks ago. There you see the fine crowd here in Linwood. What a crowd here tonight. 3rd and 10 for Holy Spirit, Wilbert. The football just inside the 35. They're going to the shotgun again.
I think you more or less are trying to play the hash game right here, Chuck. You try to get the ball in your tight end hand, and basically got the tight ends out split this time. Nick Walker.
All right, Burns back to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to roll out. He has McNellis complete. First down. Eddie Burns, what a job he did that time, Wilbert, of getting away from pressure, and he found Donnie McNellis.
Yeah, I think it was more like a bootleg pass, Chuck. He bobbled the ball. You watch the tight end on the side. He throws his hands up right away. I think he was the guy who was going to get the ball, but he rolled out and he was able to hit McNellis going down the sideline to pick up the first down.
First down for Holy Spirit. Go ahead, Wilbert.
But, you know, the play before that where they got the offsides play, Burns came out on the field, and he made the switch with the tight end because, until the play was probably going to the tight end, the other tight end was a little bit anxious.
All right, 1st and 10, Ken.
Yeah, I think he was upset. He lined up both sides and got him out of there.
All right, the football just inside the 20 at the 19. Holy Spirit trails by 8. They're knocking on the door. They give it to Ulrich on an inside trap, and Ulrich's got some room. Down inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. Kevin Ulrich, another famous name from the Atlantic City area, on an inside. Wilbert, tell us
Chuck, that's nothing but you get lost behind your big offensive lineman, and basically nobody sees you, and you're able to get positive yards once you're able to get around all the smoke.
All right, the ball's at the 13. It'll be 2nd and about 4 for the Holy Spirit Spartans. 4:05 left in the first half here. Coming to you live on Simon's Cable Channel 2. One of the most ballyhooed high school football games I can ever remember. They give it off inside to Donnie McNellis. Dancing, Donnie McNellis. Touchdown, Holy Spirit. A 13-yard run by Dancing Donnie McNellis. Wilbert, you love this kid. Let's watch.
Chuck, you know, the thing is, it's basically a simple handoff upside. He read it, he breaks to the right, and then he basically smells end zone. He just basically keep fighting until he gets the ball in. Chuck, this kid here brings quickness, explosion, excitement to that offense. He gives them the speed that they need in that backfield.
Kenny Williams, what kind of play was that, and where was the Mustang defense? It caught out of position that time?
So that was a counter, and they flew to the one side right away. He has come back with quite a few counters on this. He ran the wingback counter. He ran that counter, which is where they send the motion one way and try to come back. It's easier up front because it gives those people up front angle blocking, and they ran that to perfection that time, and look for the same play that they used down here on the extra point to come back to again this time.
All right, that cuts the lead to 14-12, and again, Holy Spirit does not have a kicker, so the 2-point conversion is going to be important. Wilbert, the last time they ran a play to Fishbein, he was wide open. They just threw it right behind him.
They threw it right behind him. I still think Kevin Ory was the primary receiver on that. He basically was up to get upfield and get out in the flat, and Burns was going to lay the ball off to him. We're going to see if they're going to come back to that play because he slipped on the other end of the field. This time, they're going to try it on the opposite end, Chuck.
All right, 3:49 left. Mainland leads at 14-12.
Last time, Chuck, they put that ball on the hash. They're not putting it on the hash, so they may be coming up with something different here.
All right, Eddie Burns going to dive into his playbook here. We'll see what he runs. 14-12, 3:49 left in the second. Big 2-point conversion here.
This play going to the tight end. He's standing up.
Play action. Wilbert Montgomery called it. They were throwing to the tight end, but it was deflected. Deflected that time. Good defense by the Mustangs And let's watch it again, Wilbert. It was a bootleg to the tight end.
It's a bootleg to the tight end. Simple play, Chuck. You stand the tight end front because, too, if he had to come up out of the three-point stand, you never would have got the ball to him.
I think that was Tony DeSalle that got his hand on that football.
Good defensive play on the other side of the ball. They was able to deflect the play. They was able to read the play and get the hands up in the air. If you can't get the pressure on the quarterback, do your next best thing. Get your hands up. Maybe your hand hit the ball and tip it away.
All right, 3:49 left. There you see some of the crowd, and Wilbert, Montgomery, and Ken Williams. We have got a heck of a high school football game here on Simon's Cable Channel 2. Everything it was built up to be and more.
It surprises me, Chuck. I didn't think there would be this much scoring, but there is, and this looks like now it's just going to go right down to the wire. Statistically, I'm sure time of possession, first downs, total yardage are very, very heavily in favor of Holy Spirit with 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
Well, Mainland struck on a big play, the 70-yard pass from Boyd to Clement.
They had 2 touchdowns on 2 plays.
On 2 plays.
Those are the kind of plays that you love to get off to a good start and get the team fired up and move in from there. But on the other hand, if they don't get those convergence at 2 points, they're going to have to score another extra touchdown.
Evidently, they do not have a field goal kicker.
As Ken Williams pointed out at the top of the show, the kicking game very important. Mainland has a kicker, Holy Spirit does not, and that could really come into play here tonight.
This is Bernie Marzak kicking off, Chuck, and they must be having auditions each week.
Yeah, Marzak gets it away. Short kick. Fielded down by Chris Laird, and he's tackled immediately where Mainland will set up shop. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Clock now a factor. 3:45 left in the second period here at the Mustang Corral.
And Chuck, tell these people don't go away at halftime because we have a fantastic halftime show with the Mainland Band. We have homecoming, a lot of beautiful girls, which I know you're looking forward to.
You're going to handle the band commentary tonight, right?
I thought Wilbert was going to do that.
No. I'm leaving it up to you guys.
All right, there you see the clock in the screen right here on Simons, and they give it off to Tedeschi, and he gets about 6 yards on the carry. We'll keep that clock in the screen. That's one of our new features here on Simon's Cable Channel 2. You'll see the time at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. 5-yard gain for Tony Tedeschi that time. 2nd and 5 for Mainland. They lead 14-12. And let's remember, Ken Williams, they have a field goal kicker in Jason Feinberg. They may be looking for a field goal here.
They'll get anything they can to try to go in with a little momentum at halftime, Chuck.
Motion with DeSalle. They give it again to Tedeschi, and a little fire plug. Fumbles the football. Holy Spirit has it. Holy Spirit has the fumble. There it is. There's those goblins and ghosts that have haunted Mainland in this series since 1966. Tedeschi fumbles. Holy Spirit has it. 1st and 10, Ken.
That's been typical.
Let's watch
of the
it,
series,
Wilbert.
Chuck.
Tell us what happened.
That's basically, Chuck, yes, it's nothing but nothing fans. Giving the ball off to him. Got a tremendous lick because the running back was running upright. He got a good lick. The ball came out underneath. Nothing fancy about
Andrew
that.
Hunt caused the fumble. 6'3", 190-pound junior for Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit sets up shot. They're in the shotgun. 1st and 10. The football at the 37-yard line. Ed Burns Jr. is back. Mainland comes with a blitz. He's going downfield for McNellis. Incomplete. Incomplete as they came after Burns with a blitz.
Both
Number
corners,
42, Kenyatta Brown in there, and he had McNellis, just couldn't complete the pass. Wilbert then Ken.
Well, Chuck, the only thing was they had an all-out blitz coming from the outside, and the quarterback couldn't set up strong enough to throw the ball. It made him rush the throw, and that's what you do in a situation like that. You just turn the ball back on. Your defense coming out of the field. We got to create a habit, and they did so.
Ken, are you surprised they're blitzing as much as they have?
No, because that's what people had to do last year to combat this offense. We saw that against Egg Harbor Township, Absecon. They stopped the offense with blitzing from the corner. Holy Spirit's going to have to adjust.
Here they come again. Heemskirk on the blitz, and they set up the screen to Ulrich. He's got 3 men in front of him, but a tremendous play by number 42 on Mainland. Kenyatta Brown broke through that great wall of Spartans and made the tackle. Wilbert, they had the screen set up.
The screen was set up, Chuck. You know, you got 2 kinds of screens, and that's the type of screen where right there, you catch this ball here, you catch the screen here, you run it back towards the inside of the field because you got all the help outside. All he wanted to do is just get back up to the inside in the middle of the field because they had an all-out blitz on.
Kenny Williams, big-time play by Kenyatta Brown.
Yeah, and there's the guessing game, Chuck. The time before they sent both corners. Holy Spirit anticipated that, called the screen. Only that time Mainland sent the other corner and kept that corner at home.
All right, 3rd down and 9 for Holy Spirit. They're trying to make something happen after the turnover. Eddie Burns, the fishbone, incomplete. He had it in his hand. Incomplete as Eddie Burns Jr. got away a terrific pass that time, and I know Mr. Fishbein would like to have that one back as Burns, watch it, Wilbert, under pressure, throws a fine pass here.
A great pass, Chuck, and I think that the receiver went up in the air when he didn't have to jump. He just basically caught that ball in his hands and basically ran from there. But you hate to see those kind of passes dropped on the ground. Not saying it wasn't lack of concentration. You just hate to see those balls happen.
All right, now Ken Williams, big play here, 4th and 9. You have a minute 41 left. Holy Spirit fails to convert. Mainland's going to have good field position with time.
Well, Chuck, I'm sure they figure that they can probably get it. If they don't get the first down, they'll get it close, giving the ball back with a minute 20, and they'll have to play defense.
All right, 4th down for Holy Spirit. Burns in the shotgun. He's looking. He's got time. Going for Fishbein. Incomplete. Incomplete. Heemskirk on the coverage. Fishbein looking for a flag, but that was a good defensive play, Wilbert.
Well, you know, whenever time you don't get any call, no call, it is a good defense. In that case, that's a great defensive play.
Kenny, you take it here. Ken Williams.
Okay, he looks to me like the ball was a little thrown behind him, and Casey Heemskirk was there. A good no call, good high school football play both ways.
All right, a minute 36 left, so Mainland eludes one of those ghosts that has plagued them since 1966. Spirit had the football, 1st and 10 at the 37, couldn't convert the fumble. Now it's Mainland's turn, a minute 36 left. There you see the clock. Jeff Boyd under center. He's going to give it. He's going to keep it on a bootleg. He's got it. Has a man downfield complete. 1st down, Mainland. Number 82 on the catch, Todd Michael, coming across the middle, Ken.
That's exactly what I talked about earlier. They had not used the tight end. That's what you call the waggle. They delay the tight end from the opposite side. Jeff Boyd got to the corner, hit Todd Michael for a big gain.
All right, Mustangs back in action. Boyd's going downfield for DeSalle. The ball is up. Let's wait for the signal. He caught it. Tony DeSalle went high in the air, came down with the football. 1st down, Mainland. A minute 20 left. Wilbert, he looked like a high jumper going up.
Well,
that
Chuck,
time.
basically, you know, when the ball is up in the air, it's anybody's ball, and they say, who wants the ball the most? There you saw Boyd, it basically throws a nice pass out, and Jones come up and make a great catch.
DeSalle. Tony
DeSalle makes a great catch, Sean.
He looked a little bit like Ocean City's Scott Lipford going up for that pass, the way Lipford goes up for passes. 1st and 10 for Mainland.
Calling timeout.
We have a minute 20 left, and the Mustangs going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Ken Williams with the toe of Jason Feinberg now. Mainland already in field goal territory.
Yes, Chuck, but that wind is pretty stiff, and it's in their face, and it's blowing in their face and across the field.
Let's watch this great pass again. Wilbert, you take it.
Basically, that's the first pass before, Chuck.
To Michael.
To Michael, and basically set up the next play.
And that's a play the Holy Spirit has run for years and years for a big yardage, and I think that's one of the few times the Mustangs have run it this year, and they went for 25 yards and a big first down.
So, Ken, are you saying Bobby Coffey, who played football at Holy Spirit, stole a play from the Spartan playbook to use against his alma mater?
No, that's a basic play in the wing tee, Chuck. You know, when you run the wing tee, you're stealing that from David Nelson from University of Delaware. But that's a basic play where he fakes the ball, bootlegs to the corner, and Jeff Boyd has good enough speed to get to the corner. He has good feet, and once he was at the corner, the tight end comes from the opposite side, drags across that field, and I'll tell you what, at the high school level, it's probably one of the most difficult plays to cover, and it's a big, big yardage gainer, in this case for 25 yards.
All right, there you see Bobby Coffey coming off the field. He's trying to become the first Mainland coach since Andy Prohaska, to beat Holy Spirit. 1st and 10 for Mainland, a ball to 23, a minute 20 left. Boyd rolls. He's going to look to the side.
That's a live
ball. It's a live ball. It was thrown behind him. Football's loose, and Kenny, Holy Spirit has it. It was a live ball, Wilbert. You take it. He threw it behind him.
Chuck, it's basically it's a play that basically where you're crossing the formation. You want to loft the ball, but the back itself, crossing back, didn't get upfield enough, so he threw the ball over his head.
Ken Williams, you take it here.
Okay,
Tell us what happened.
That would be considered a fumble, Chuck. He just tries to swing that out there, throws it backwards, which means it's now like a fumble, and Holy Spirit falls on it before it goes out of bounds.
And I'll tell you who fell on it, and he's got a great first half. Number 89, Andrew Hunt, 6'3", 190-pound junior for Holy Spirit. They have the football, 58 seconds. Let's see what Eddie Burns opts to do here now as the Spartans get another turnover. They're going to pitch it out to Paul Smith. Ulrich behind him. Smith trying to get outside. Gets all that on his own. Looked like he was going to be thrown for a loss. Clock's going to run here. Smith picks up about 4 yards. Ken, that play is designed, I think, that play that Holy Spirit got the turnover, you have to throw that a little later. I think he threw it a little too soon.
Well, he's got to get the ball to him. There was an errant throw in that case. It's ideally, it's better if you throw it forward. So that way, if he does drop it, it's an incompleted pass. In this case, it came back to really hurt.
Wilbert, you saw it right away. You knew it was a loose ball, didn't you?
Well, Chuck, basically is that when you run that ball, you run play it many times, and you behind the quarterback, and he's throwing you the ball. As an individual, you got to get on that ball.
All right, Burns is going to take a shot now. He goes back to throw. Incomplete, going for Fishbein. Close to midfield. Fishbein went up for it high, could not get it. 5 seconds remaining in the first half. Third down, Holy Spirit. And I think Ken here and Wilbert, Eddie Burns may be content to run the clock out, but you never know in this series.
Or throw it deep, Chuck. He's got one play left. Throw it deep, see what happens.
And the play is going to come in from number 4, Joe Smith. It's been a great first half here in Linwood. Mainland leads it only because they have 2 extra points. The game's really even as far as touchdowns. The difference has been the PATs. Holy Spirit missed 2 two-point conversions, and Jason Feinberg kicked 2 for Mainland. Third down for the Holy Spirit Spartans. Eddie Burns Jr. back to throw. He's looking to the flat for Smith, incomplete. Smith didn't turn around for the football, and that's going to be the end of the first half here at the Mustang Corral in Linwood. And the score, the Mainland Mustangs 14, the Holy Spirit Spartans 12. We're going to try to go down to Lucy Jones, who's going to get Bob Coffey on the sideline here. Let's go down now to Lucy Jones with Mainland coach Bob Coffey.
Down here with Coach Bob Coffey of the Mainland Mustangs. Coach, how key was that block punt coming so early in the game?
Well, we're only 2 points up, so it was the key. We're doing. They have a great offense, and we have to stop them. So, but that was everything, that block punt.
Coach Coffey, I don't think I've ever seen this much intensity in a high school football game. Is there anything special you'll tell your kids at halftime to try and calm them down a little bit?
Just relax and play football, that's all.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, Chuck.
All right, Lucy Jones, thanks for that sideline report with Mainland coach Bob Coffey. Lucy will get Eddie Burns when he comes out for the second half. We're going to take it back up here. Chuck Betson, Wilbert Montgomery, and Ken Williams. Mainland leads it 14-12. We're going to work on our statistics here. We'll have some stats for you. Wilbert, your impressions of the first half?
Well, Chuck, it's basically both teams, I think, had played good, solid football. You know, I can't say they hadn't played mistake-free football because we have seen 2 turnovers for Mainland and 1 on a block punt for Holy Spirit. Other than that, Chuck, it's been a solid football game. Run and catch, block, play good, hard-nosed football.
All right, and you're watching live Cape Atlantic League football, historic broadcast on Simon's Cable Channel 2. Chuck Betson, Ken Williams, Wilbert Montgomery. When we come back, we're going to watch the Mainland Marching Band and the homecoming activities here from Linwood. Once again, the score at halftime, Mainland 14, Holy Spirit 12. We'll be back with more live coverage right after this.
The undisputed heavyweight champion of the Buffalo Ring is Charlie's Bar and Restaurant, located at 800 Shore Road in Summers Point. But it just isn't a wing thing at Charlie's, as the entire menu is a knockout. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, enjoy the 2.5-pound prime rib special. And the Charlie's menu specializes in German and American cuisine, which is cooked to order. Charlie's specialties are excellent also. On Tuesday night, enjoy 25-cent steamers. On Thursday night, it's all-you-can-eat ribs for $10.95. And there's daily drink specials at Charlie's with $1.50 margaritas from 3 to 6 on Friday afternoons. There's also a great children's menu at Charlie's with prices ranging from $2.25 to $7.85 and a daily free luncheon special for children under 8. Charlie's is also a great place to play pool, shuffleboard, and darts. Charlie's is open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 3 a.m., and on Sundays from noon to 3 a.m. For takeout service at Charlie's, dial 927-FOOD.
Democrat Bruce Pesco, what is your vote on raising taxes?
Yes.
What is your vote on increasing the Egg Harbor Township budget over $1 million this year?
Yes.
Bruce, what is your vote on giving Egg Harbor Township jobs to non-residents?
Yes.
It's time for a change. Republican Frank Finnerty won't run for the tough issues, such as the property maintenance and jobs for local residents. Frank Finnerty wants tax relief for our seniors and our families. He will work with the Board of Education for the best interests of Egg Harbor Township.
Giuliano family would like to invite you to enjoy an unforgettable dining experience. Located at Ocean Heights Avenue and Zion Road in Bargaintown, Giuliano's is open for lunch 11:30 to 3 daily and dinner from 4 till 11. Try a tempting appetizer while your entree is cooked to order. Relax in Giuliano's lounge with a snack and a cold drink. Or visit Giuliano's packaged goods store with a wide variety of spirits and cold beer. For a family restaurant with family prices, come to Giuliano's, Ocean Heights Avenue and Zion Road, Bargaintown, 927-6363.
The law offices of Broom and Bellucci have been serving the Atlantic City metropolitan area since 1966. Located at 1701 New Road in Northfield, Henry Broom and Bruno Bellucci specialize in personal injury cases. The firm also has an expertise in divorce and workmen's compensation. A law firm with a sporting touch, Broom and Bellucci would also like to wish all the athletes in the Cape Atlantic League a successful winter basketball season. Like a point guard dribbling through a full-court press, Broom and Bellucci can help you find a way through the legal labyrinth. Henry Broom is a graduate of the University of North Carolina, so he knows all about the winning mystique. That's Broom and Bellucci, located at 1701 New Road in Northfield. The firm is open daily from 8:30 to 5:30. Dial 645-3100 for all your legal needs.
Hi, my name is Melanie White. I'm from the Mainland Mustang cheerleading squad. When I want high school football results, I tune to Salmon Communications Channel 2, the Betson Connection, 5 p.m. every Saturday night.
Chuck, let's go to the halftime festivities and enjoy the Mainland Marching Band.
because I read that in the paper, because he doesn't think it's fair to him. I'd ask you about the kicking team, the lack of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the 1995 Mainland Homecoming. At this time, I will introduce the court. Our freshman representatives are Ann Ramley. She is an enthusiast, spirited freshman. She will be escorted by Mr. Frank Betson from Linwood. He participates in football, basketball, and baseball. He hopes to attend the U.S. Naval Academy. Sophomore representative, Mr. Wilbert Rice, is the president of her class, actively involved in student council and a member of SAC. Second service for the tennis team. She also supports the fellowship Christian athletes. She is escorted by Jason Schuler, graduates skating celebrity at Wilbert. Junior representatives are Melissa Stiegel. She is the top 10 of her class and participates in student council, SAD, club, as well as treasurer of the Alpha Club, choir, and girls soccer. Her escort is Eric Chan, president of student council, representing Brad Eisler, who is a member of the football team. Senior representative Alex Light is an active member of Student Council and National Honor Society. She is vice president of the Drama Club and president of SAD. Her escort, Phil Anderson, is captain of the swim team and secretary of the National Honor Society. Erica Linares is one of the co-captains of the football squad. She's also and she wants to thank her family and friends and teachers for everything. Her escort is Scott Gutman, president of the senior class, representing Tony DeSalle, who's a 4-year letterman in football and track. Mr. DeSalle is happy to say that he plays for the best football team in New Jersey. Nicole Scull has participated in SAD, club, and softball. Her family and friends are the most important thing to her. Her escort is Rob Farina, who enjoys baseball and hockey. Katie O'Brien has played softball and basketball for 2 years. She supports SAD and school activities. Our escort is Anthony Petrino, vice president of the senior class, and he is representing Dave Klemick, a member of the football team. Melanie White is the captain of the Mustangs football cheerleading squad and has been in leading roles in Mainland's drama productions. She is also involved with the peer education program. Outside of school, she is an active member of her church youth group and is involved with volunteer work. Her escort is Bob Bonador, who plans to go to college and major in criminal justice. Last year's queen, Jamie Eisler, is a freshman at Ursinus University, and her escort is Dr. Coyle, superintendent of Mainland Regional High School. Now, the 1995 homecoming queen and king. The 95 homecoming queen is Melanie White. The homecoming king will have to accept his award at a later date because it is Mr. Tony DeSalle. Congratulations, Melanie. Congratulations, Tony. And to all of the contestants in the homecoming court.
And again, our congratulations to everyone else who participated. Alex Slate, Erica Linares, Katie O'Brien, Nicole Skell, Melissa Steedle, Kim Weiss, and the freshman representative, Ann Gramlich. These are all fine young students, excellent students in the classroom, and our tribute to Mainland Regional High School and their families. Chuck, I'll let you get back to you here.
All right, they got us back open up on the mic. We'll bring back Wilbert, Montgomery.
other things around here.
Okay. All right, we're nearing the end of the halftime festivities here at the Mustang Corral in Linwood with the score: the Mainland Mustangs 14, the Holy Spirit Spartans 12. We're going to go to a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
We've got breaking sports news on the Betson Connection from the Summers Point Circle. Diorio's Circle Cafe is called an audible at the line of scrimmage. What was once a dance club has been transformed into a restaurant. Chef Hector is now calling the plays in the kitchen, and his wings and things are scoring points with the pregame and postgame football crowd. Diorio's now has a full menu and serves lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. There's burgers and shrimp and clams and all that Jersey Shore stuff straight from Hector's playbook. And on Monday night, Diorio's offers 25-cent clams, 25-cent wings, and 75-cent shrimp and wings. Diorio's is a great place to watch any kind of football on the 6-color televisions throughout the restaurant. One word of warning, the regulars here know the game. There's also dancing, pool, and a DJ with a music mix aimed more at the mature crowd. Diorio's is now a restaurant for all football seasons. That's pro, college, or high school. For takeout service, dial 926-5300. Check out Diorio's Circle Cafe and Hector's Kitchen. You'll be amazed at the changes inside. J.N. Manis and B&J Recycling would like to wish all the athletes in the Cape Atlantic League a successful 1995 football season. B&J Recycling, located at 141 South Old Port Road in Oceanville, accepts stumps, concrete, wood, asphalt, metal crushed concrete, wrap, structural steel, and sells mulch, screen top soil, and landscaping stone. B&J Recycling is an environmentally aware business taking Galloway Township into the 90s. And its brother, J.N. Manis, specializes in excavating and demolition. Located at 155 South New York Road in Oceanville, J.N. Manis serves commercial, industrial, and residential properties. J.N. Manis has been serving the Atlantic and Cape May County area since 1970. J.N. Manis also offers heavy equipment rentals, trucks, and cranes. For demolition and excavation, dial J.N. Manis at 652-1544. For recycling, dial B&J Recycling at 652-2434.
Atlantic City, the boardwalk, Miss America, the beaches, and men's college basketball returning to the Atlantic City Convention Center on December 9th, 1995. Come see the Nittany Lions of Penn State University battle their cross-state rivals, the University of Pennsylvania, as the Quakers challenge for their 4th straight undefeated Ivy League season and 4th straight NCAA tournament bid. In the opening game of the doubleheader, the LaSalle Explorers of Philadelphia will take on the Golden Eagles of Marquette University. After last season's NIT run, Marquette continues to recapture the glory of its national championship years. So call Ticketmaster at 1-800-736-1420 to reserve your seats to this championship doubleheader.
In 1992, two great heavyweight champions turned in award-winning performances. When it was over, Riddick Bowe was the new champion. A year later, there was a sequel. It was another classic. This time, Evander Holyfield got his revenge. Bowe and Holyfield will fight again. Only one can be the best heavyweight in the world. Live from Caesar's Palace on pay-per-view, Saturday, November 4th.
Hi, I'm Bruce Pascoe, the Deputy Mayor of Egg Harbor Township. During my 3 years in office, I've worked hard to make our government more open and accessible. It was my idea to televise our public meetings and to take our meetings out of Town Hall and into our neighborhoods. I've always been accessible and responsive without regard for political affiliation. I hope you'll give me the opportunity to continue to make our government more like what it should be, open and honest. Thank you.
We're back with coverage of Mainland Holy Spirit.
Let's go with Coach Ed Burns of the Holy Spirit Spartans. Coach Burns, I know you tried to downplay the hype all week for this game. Was there anything specific that you told your kids to try to keep some of the pressure off of them?
Just come out and play football. We have nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Coach, can you, we assume that Don McNellis will be playing in the second half. I did see him come in that last series.
Don McNellis will be fine in the second half. He'll be playing the whole second half.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back to you, Chuck.
All right, Lucy Jones, thanks for that report from Eddie Burns. We're back in the booth. Chuck Betson, Wilbert, Montgomery, Ken Williams, and Wilbert, a very special guest, the man who runs Channel 2 and Salmon's, making this possible. Bob Pipperato. Bob, historic evening tonight.
Sure is, Chuck. We're happy to be a part of this, and I just can't believe it. I mean, it's unbelievable, this game, and the people that came out for it, etc. It's just beyond our expectations.
All right, and Bob, we've really led the way with local origination programming at Salmons. It's going to be an ownership change. We're still going to provide the good community programming.
Absolutely.
All right, and how about the guys, the technicians that came out from Salmons and helped us get this set up tonight?
Hey, they're all wonderful people. They provide a heck of a service, and they're certainly dedicated to their job, as you are, and as Wilbert is, and as Ben is. And, you know, all I can say is thanks a lot, everybody.
All right, and Bob, you got a prediction on what's going to happen in the second half? Is this the year the streak ends?
No, sir.
Oh, there it is. Bob Pipperato says the streak will continue. Bob, thanks a lot for joining us. Bob Pipperato from Salmons Cable Channel 2 up in the booth, and the man who makes it all possible here at Salmons with all the fine community-oriented programming that we do. Hey, Wilbert Montgomery, when are we going to see you at a karaoke? I heard you can sing.
Chuck, that's one song, songs you will never hear. I'll leave it to the other people.
Okay. We're back here at halftime. Again, Mainland leads at 14-12. And I want to thank our statistician, Kenny Williams. Give us our statistician's name.
Benji Heemskirk, Chuck. Brother of Casey Heemskirk, linebacker. We'll see Benji up here. He's a quarterback on the freshman team. And from what I understand, doing it very well. And another year or two, when Jeff Boyd graduates, we'll probably see Benji right out here.
All right, let's go for Mainland stats first. First downs, the Mustangs had 7 first downs in the first half. And there you see it on the screen. Look at that. DeSalle, 2 carries, 12 yards. Tedeschi, 3 carries, 11. Boyd, 3 for 9. Look at the passing stats. Jeff Boyd, 5 for 5, 139. Dave Clement, the receiver for Mainland, had 2 catches for 96. DeSalle, 1 for 25. And Morrow, 1 for 18. First half stats from the Mainland Mustangs live on Channel 2. Let's look at Holy Spirit. They had 10 first downs, rushing yards, total of 76. Smith had 12 carries for 41. McNellis, 2 for 6. Ulrich, 4 for 21. Burns, 3 for 8. Passing, Eddie Burns, 7 for 17, 96 yards. McNellis had 2 catches for 6 yards. Fishbein, 2 for 38. Paul Smith, 2 for 29. Smith, 1 for 4. And Barrett, 1 for 5. Your first half stats here from the Mustang Corral in Linwood. Mainland leads at 14-12. Wilbert Montgomery, what are we going to look for in the second half?
Chuck, you're going to look for the same old mirror shadow what you saw the first half, but hoping that there's no turnovers in the second half, then a better team come out winning the ball game. You're going to see both teams coming out playing hard-nosed football. The stats are pretty well equal in turns on yards a game, but the thing you got to look at, Chuck, here, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes this second half are the team that's going to prevail.
All right, Ken Williams, what's your gut feeling here? 1966, last victory for Mainland. Do you have a good feeling going into the second half here?
Yeah, Chuck, I do. I really think that first series is crucial. If the Mustangs can take this football and score, I think that they have a real upper hand. If the Spartans can stop them here, then this is going to be a real dogfight.
All right. Holy Spirit will kick it off here. They trail 14-12.
Chuck, penalties played a very key role in the first half. Mainland was penalized 50 yards. 2 of those directly resulted in first downs. Holy Spirit was only penalized 10. But the bigger stat was Mainland lost 2 fumbles. And it has not hurt them. So they weathered the storm in the first half.
All right, we're underway here. That's Jones picking up that short kick. He's got some room and had some room, and now he's stopped by a host of Holy Spirit tacklers. It'll be 1st and 10 for Mainland. They lead at 14-12. And Ken, you know, looking at those first half stats, John Stone did not rush the ball once for Mainland.
No, he did not, Chuck.
Surprising there. He is an exciting player.
Well, they didn't run a lot of offensive plays. You have that sheet in front of you. They threw the ball 5 times, and I think they only had maybe 8 carries, so they only ran maybe 15 plays.
Right. 1st and 10 for Mainland. A football at the 35. There was early movement by the Stangs, and that'll cost them 5 yards. We'll run down that Mainland offensive line. Bill Brown, 70. Greg Stoll. T.J. Wolf is the center. Matt Levinson, the guard. Buddy Broom, the tackle. And Todd Michael, the tight end.
They've done a fine job all year, Chuck. There was a young group that came in here. I think the only veteran was Wolf and Broom, and those kids have really risen to the occasion.
1st and 15 for Mainland as football now at the 30-yard line. Boyd gives it off. Fumbles a football. It's loose. There it is. Let's wait for the signal. They mishandled the handoff. Holy Spirit has it. Holy Spirit has it. Ken, let's watch it. Wilbert, bad handoff here?
Basically, running back and the quarterback had a slight collision there, Chuck, and that's one of those things. That's one of those veer options. You don't know if you're going to get the ball or not. But with that mesh, right at the mesh point, that's where the problem happened is.
So it looked like someone may have been in there and stripped that football off Tedeschi. Wow, so Mainland, a horrible start for the first half. And there's that jinx again, Ken. 1966, 29 years, unbelievable. Let's see what Holy Spirit does. 1st and 10, the football at the 29. The wind's starting to kick up a little bit here now in Linwood. They give it off inside to Ulrich, and Ulrich's running free all the way inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Kevin Ulrich on the counter trap. Good yardage for a Holy Spirit. 1st down, Wilbert.
Without a doubt, Chuck. There's nothing fancy about that. You see the guard come over and make a good trap block that Ulrich can get up into the hole and then pick up the 1st down. Positive yards on a turnover like that, Chuck. You need that in going and start the second half.
Ken Williams, that play has been there all night for Holy Spirit.
Counter, Chuck. The last 3 times they've run the counter, they've run it for pretty good yardage, so it looks like they're going to stay with it.
All right. Eddie Burns brings him out. 1st and 10. He's got Ulrich in the slot. He's going to give it to Donnie McNellis, and he stopped for no gain. He stopped for no gain as Mainland, number 50 that time, Jason Cairns, in on the tackle. Kenny, tell us about Jason Cairns.
Jason Cairns is a senior, Chuck. He's a big boy, 6'2", 225-pound senior. He's just, last year he played defensive end, played some offensive line. This year he's playing strictly linebacker on the inside, and he's a real key to that Mainland defense.
All right, and he stopped McNellis for a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11, the football at the 15. Holy Spirit trails 14-12, 10:01 left in the 3rd period. Burns is going to roll out. He's got a man open. Fishbein. He's got it. Touchdown, Holy Spirit. Eddie Burns Jr. found Joe Fishbein in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Holy Spirit. Wilbert, let's watch it.
Chuck, that's basically a simple fake bootleg right, rolling out right, and Eddie Burns basically throws the ball out there. Where they missed that play early in the ball game, they was able to capitalize on it this time.
Boy, pardon me, Burns had all day to throw it, and the ball came free after Fishbein hit the ground, but the ground cannot cause a fumble. Now Holy Spirit leading 18-14.
Now the ball's on the left hash. You're going to see that bootleg or roll right, Chuck.
We have an official timeout. Maybe an equipment problem here. Now they have it rectified. So Holy Spirit strikes after the fumble. They lead at 18-14. 9:52 left in the 3rd. Motion with McNellis. Burns looking for Fishbein. He's got him. It's good. It's good. Burns to Fishbein. The 2-point conversion is good. So with 9:52 left, Holy Spirit. Let's watch it, Wilbert. Tell us what we see here.
Basically, Chuck, that's a simple, Ken call it a simple roll out to the right, looks for the crossing receiver, and throws it low to the ground. That basically nobody can get a hand on the ball. Great pass, great catch, great 2-point conversion.
All right, Ken Williams, now we're going to find out about the heart of this Mainland team.
Chuck, tough play to defend because they put that man in motion, which gives them trips. And if they crisscross, which they did, and they brought Fishbein inside, somebody gets picked off, and Burns put the ball right there. And again, yes, we will. This is a key series now for the Mustangs. Gut Chuck time. They're behind for the first time tonight. They have got to maintain a drive, run some clock, and put themselves back into the lead in this game. And this is a very, very key series. This is a momentum-breaking series.
Ken Williams, you mentioned turnovers, already 4 for Mainland. 3 fumbles and the pass that was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Turnovers have plagued Mainland throughout this series.
Yes, Chuck, and this is something that they were very fortunate with early. With Ocean City, they had 5, I think, that they capitalized on. Absecon, they had quite a few. Oak Crest, they had quite a few. And, like I said before the game, I felt turnovers were a key factor. At this point, Holy Spirit has none except for the block punt. Mainland has 3 that they've lost.
All right, the kick is away, and it's going to be fielded at the 30. Cuts it back up inside. That's Chris Laird on the return. And Mainland now has to move the football. Holy Spirit struck like lightning, used the turnover. The fumble by Tedeschi, came out and scored. Eddie Burns Jr. to Fishbein, and now Mainland puts the ball in play. 1st and 10, the football at the 36-yard line. This potent Mainland offense has racked up points all year. They haven't been behind too many times, Ken Williams, so now it's gut check time.
They were behind in Ocean City 14-0 and came back, and this is, again, like you said, this is it right here.
Motion with Stone. Boyd's going to keep it on. Pitches it to John Stone. He carries it for the first time tonight. He's up across midfield to the 47. John Stone, who showed you his speed, took it on the option from Boyd. Let's watch it, Wilbert Montgomery.
Well, it's a simple view running down the sideline. The quarterback, Jeff Barnes, makes this play, not Barnes, but Jeff Boyd makes this play work. He holds the ball till the last minute, waited till the defense end committed, get the ball out to the running back, Stone, and let him be the running back, Chuck.
1st and 10 at the 47 for Mainland. They trail 20-14, 9:29 left in the 3rd period. Long count by Jeff Boyd. Sets up quick, looks for Clement, has him in a flat, tries to get away from Ojeda, has some room, cuts it back, and Andrew Hunt's going to say, that's as far as you're going to go. 6'3", 190-pound junior, number 89, Andrew Hunt on the tackle for Holy Spirit. Let's watch it. Ken, you take it this time.
Okay, that's a simple pass out into the flat to Clement, catches that ball, looks for an opening. He tries to come back across the grain, probably would have had the first down, but tried to get a few more yards and winds up about 2 yards short. Like I said before, Dave Clement is an excellent athlete, probably the best athlete on the team.
2nd and 4 for Mainland. Motion with the Sal. Boyd has it on the bootleg. He's trying to keep it, but there's nothing there. Nothing there at all. As number 53 came up, Doug Nagel, linebacker, 6 foot, 210-pound junior, was there to stop that bootleg. Wilbert?
Well, basically a simple roll out, faking out. Number 89, basically like you said, Chuck, made a tremendous play.
Was that Andrew Hunt again?
Hunt. Block. He fought off his block, able to keep the angle and not let him turn upfield with the ball.
I'll tell you right now, number 89, Andrew Hunt, is playing the game of his career, and this always seems to happen against Mainland, as a Holy Spirit defender will come up with an enormous game, and right now it's 89, Andrew Hunt, who's coming up huge for the Spartans. 3rd and 7 for Mainland. Boyd back to throw. He's going to keep it on the bootleg, and Holy Spirit's going to stop him short of the first down. Number 49, Paul Savini, in on the tackle. So was Dan Bennett. Big call here for Bob Coffey, Ken Williams. He's got a 4th and, we'll call it 6. The football at the 43. Ken, is he going to go for it?
I don't know, Chuck. I think at this point I might punt the ball, but I think and that's what he's going to do, Chuck.
Okay,
yes.
Jeff Boyd in the game. He's going to punt the football away, try to go for field position. Again, Boyd's a quarterback, so you have to watch the fake here if you're Holy Spirit. And a flag down. A flag down, and that could be key.
If that's offside on Holy Spirit, it's going to be a yard short of a first down.
Let's await the call. Motion against the Mainland Mustang, so actually that'll give Boyd a little bit better shot of trying to pin Holy Spirit down inside the 20.
Mustangs got to get it together here, Chuck. They've come out here in the second half, had 2 penalties already on procedures, and they've fumbled the football, so they've got to settle down.
Kenny, it's that streak. It's the Goblins and Ghosts.
Mystique.
29 years, 1966.
I thought it was me.
Oh, they had good pressure that time on Boyd, and we're going to have roughing the kicker as Kirk Luzinski ran into Jeff Boyd, and that's going to be an automatic first down.
Sure is. That's a big
for
play,
Mainland.
Chuck.
Automatic first down, roughing the kicker. Wilbert, you saw it right from here.
Well, Chuck, you know, in a situation like that, you come out, you play good, solid defense, and you hold the team down. You tell them, play heads up, smart ball. Don't go for the block at this point here. You have the lead. Let's basically not sit on it, but not make no stupid mistake. That was a stupid mistake at that point.
All right, we're going to take a break here with 7:06 left in the third. Holy Spirit leads at 2014.
In 1992, 2 great heavyweight...
My fellow Americans, our future is bright. The World Wrestling Federation has given us great, wholesome family entertainment. Together, we can reach a new plateau, and the new WWF generation will lead us there.
Join Mr. President live from our nation's capital for the greatest night in sports entertainment. Milton Bradley Karate Fighters present. Series, November 19th on pay-per-view.
So join my family and watch the WWF Survivor.
All right, we're back live. We're sorry about that. We missed the play. Mainland just completed a pass. Jeff Boyd brings him out. They're down to the 15. Jeff Boyd's going to pitch it out to DeSalle. DeSalle has it. He's sacked. He's sacked by Ryan Ojeda. Ojeda is sacked, and he's going to lose yardage. Sorry, during that break, we missed a completion down to about the 15-yard line.
It was a 23-yard pass from Boyd to DeSalle.
Second down, and we'll call it 17. Mainland knocking on the door. They trail 20-14. Boyd gives it off to Tedeschi up the middle, and he's got about 5 yards before he's stopped. Set up a 3rd and long. Ken?
I'll tell you, that Holy Spirit defense, Chuck, has really done an outstanding job tonight. They've, except for that one play, they broke big 60 yards. They've pretty well shut down this Mustang offense, and it's very potent. You know, Ryan Ojeda in that secondary, Lazinski on the corner, Hunt on that defensive end. They've done an outstanding job, Chuck.
2014, big play for Mainland here. 3rd and we'll call it 12. Backs are split. Boyd's going to roll out. He's looking. He's got time. Looking in the end zone. Intercepted! Holy Spirit has the football. And they're going to shut down that drive as number 97, Tyler Vieg, intercepted that pass. 1st down, Spartans.
Chuck, that's Tyler Vieg. He was the outside linebacker.
Let's watch it, Ken.
He stepped right in front of that pass that Jeff Boyd threw, made a nice interception, catches that ball with his hands, and thwarts a Mainland rally.
Turnover number 5 for the Mustangs, and Wilbert, turnovers will kill you every time.
Turnovers, you can't have mistakes in a ball game, especially when there's a huge ball game and the game is close as it is right now. When you get down into the red zone, you have to be able to come out away with something, Chuck.
1st and 10 for Holy Spirit off the turnover. They give it out to Paul Smith outside. Smith tries to dance away, and a good tackle that time. Kenyatta Brown came up and stopped Smith for a loss of a yard. Number 42, Kenyatta Brown, answering back for the Mainland defense.
Paul Smith's a workhorse, Chuck.
Yes, he is.
He's carried that ball, the bulk of the plays for Holy Spirit.
He had 12 carries in the first half for 41 yards. 2nd and we'll call it 11 for Holy Spirit. 4:35 left in the 3rd. The Spartans lead it by 6, 20-14. Burns gives it off inside, and there's going to be nothing there. Mainland trying to tackle the football that time. They'd like to force a turnover. And
Chuck, that was a key interception because they were in field goal range at that point.
Very good point.
With the wind at their back, so that was a key turnover for the Mustangs.
3rd down and 10 for Holy Spirit. Big play here for the Mainland defense. They'd like to get the ball back for Jeff Boyd and company. Holy Spirit love to keep the football. Spartans came in at 2-3, but they've won every game in this series with the exception of a tie since 1966. They give it off inside. Fumble, Mainland has it. Paul Smith fumbled the football. He's going off holding his arm, and the Mainland Mustangs needed a turnover. Ken and Wilbert, and they got one on top of that football. Number 56 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, takeaways, giveaways can hurt you every time.
Pat Markowitz, let's watch it,
Basically,
Wilbert.
it's nothing fancy at all, Chuck. It's basically running the hard-nosed football. But when you get down there, Chuck, and you're going down to the ground, you got to hold on to the ball with both hands.
They just stripped him of the football. 1st and 10 Mainland. That's the first Holy Spirit turnover of the night. The football at the 21-yard line. They give it off to Tedeschi. He fights and twists and turns, and it gets about 4 yards. That time they hit Tedeschi, and Wilbert and Ken, they may be setting up the pitch to John Stone, which worked effectively earlier in the 2nd half.
I think they're going to get basic, Chuck. They tried to run the option. They had a couple errant pitches. I think they're going to go back to that basic fullback, come in here with a little counter. If they have to, maybe throw that little pass over the middle.
They flip it to John Stone. Stone has some room, hits the outside, cuts it back up, and gets down to about the 12-yard line. John Stone, we mentioned he did not carry the ball at all in the first half. Wilbert showed some good speed that side out.
Well, basically showed good speed, and that's good defensive play, because all they did is a lot of John Stone is basically to keep running to the outside and stay in front of, not give him a lane to cut back in. Great solid defense on that side, but Stone is beginning to get a little bit of work in the second half.
All right, 3rd and a yard and a half for Mainland. Big play in the football game here.
Tedeschi, Chuck.
Ken Williams calling for Tedeschi. Boyd back to throw. He puts it up in the end zone for Clemick. He goes up. It's intercepted, and a flag is down. Penalty flag is down. Holy Spirit intercepted.
This could go either way.
We'll
Chuck.
wait for the call, Ken Williams. The pass was intercepted in the end zone. The flag came. We will await the call of the officials.
It's against Mainland, Chuck.
It's against Mainland. Offensive interference, so Holy Spirit turns the Mustangs away again with a big interception.
Chuck, that's the 3rd turnover in the second half for the Mustangs. They fumbled and have had 2 interceptions, twice down inside Holy Spirit territory in field goal range.
And the thing that you look at, Chuck, when you're down there, is basically like I said, you know you're in 3-point range, so you basically said you can move the ball on the team, but basically let's not put the ball up in the air to create something but both teams can go for it. In this case here, Mainland, Holy Spirit has basically been pulling the ball out of the air.
All right, this Spartan defense has just come up huge tonight with turnovers. 2:20 left. Holy Spirit takes over 1st and 10. They give it to Burns. Has it on a keeper, and big Marcus Perry, number 87, is there to sack Eddie Burns Jr. 6 foot, 232-pound junior. Marcus Perry. Let's watch it, Wilbert.
Basically, Chuck, that's basically saying good hard upfield rush. They couldn't get the block out on him. Penetrated real well, back in the backfield, and able to make the big play.
Loss of about 7 yards. Ken Perry, key player. He can put some pressure on all by himself.
Very key play now, because if they can stop him here, they're going to punt the ball from their own goal line, which means Mainland will get the ball back again in Holy Spirit territory.
2nd down, 17 for Holy Spirit after the sack by Marcus Perry. The Mainland cheering section's been quiet here in the second half. They give it on an inside delay to Ulrich, and Ulrich gets about 4 yards before he's stuffed by the Mustang defense. Dustin Grande's played a good game, Ken, number 52, the defensive end for Mainland.
Yes, he has. He's a 6'3", 195-pound junior. Again, the Mustangs have those bookends, Grande and Perry back next year, so they're not going to be in too bad a shape next year either.
All right, we're down to 1:07 left in the 3rd period. Holy Spirit leads at 20-14. Big 3rd down, 3rd and 13 for the Spartans. Football at about the 16-yard line. Burns is back. He's looking downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Fishbine. Good coverage that time by the Mainland secondary, and they'll force a punt. It's number 23, Cornell Davis, on the coverage. 4th down. Holy Spirit's going to have to kick it away, and a key factor is this win. This win has kicked up Ken Williams and Wilbert. Mainland will get one more shot with the win.
They're kicking basically what's into the win here. The wind seems to be coming across the field and down the field. So they have to be very careful they're not overzealous and rough this punter.
Okay, Lazinski back to kick. Good pressure up the middle. They just get it away. DeSalle's probably going to let it bounce. Goes out of bounds. Mainland's going to have good field position here with 42 seconds left in the 3rd period. They're going to get it right about at the Holy Spirit 35-yard line. So with 42 seconds, Ken Williams, a key sack by Marcus Perry on 1st down caused the punt. And now, Wilbert, good field position for the Mustangs, and I think you'd like to see him keep it on the ground here.
I would like to see him keep it on the ground, Chuck, mainly too. But, you know, saying if you're going to pass, you like to say, hey, we've made the mistakes in the air. Let's try to see where we can establish that running game, because you know they got good 2 solid running backs.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to pitch it outside to Stone. Stone trying to find some room, and good pursuit by Holy Spirit. The Spartans right there to stop that play. And there's 89 again. What a game he has had. Andrew Hunt, the defensive end, 6'3", 190-pound junior Wilbert Montgomery came up. He's just come up huge for Holy Spirit.
It came up huge again, Chuck, and again, there's a 3-yard loss on a solid play by defense and Hunt. Hunt is playing real good football tonight.
And Chris Eager was in on that play too, Chuck. He came up from that defensive halfback spot to help out.
2nd and we'll call it 12 for Mainland. 5 seconds left. We'll see if they get off one more play here in the 3rd period. And they don't get it off. That's the final play of the third period here from the Mustang Corral in Linwood. And we'll keep it right here as Mainland trails Holy Spirit 20-14. Wilbert and Ken, both teams holding up 4 fingers for the fourth quarter. Ken, you mentioned conditioning maybe not as much as a factor because both these schools use 2 platoons.
Yes, almost strictly. I think Tony DeSalle is the only Mainland player that goes both ways, and all the rest only play on one side of the football, and Holy Spirit's kids all play on one side of the football. So what you're seeing here tonight, Chuck, is a lot of high school kids that are involved, and you're seeing 2 programs whose conditioning in the fourth quarter will probably be as good as any.
All right, we want a correction. Bob Piparato just told me he has no opinion about whether the streak's going to continue or not. Trying to rectify. He's going to play straight down the middle here.
Wait a minute, Bob's an old
Although his
City
prediction's
guy, so,
looking,
you know,
it's
hey.
looking good now. Holy Spirit's up 6. Hey, this game will go down to the final minute. We predicted that, and that's why we bringing it to you live here on Simon's Cable Channel 2. And right now, Ken, I see Finnerty, Aaron Finnerty warming up on the sideline. You think we could see him and replace a Jeff Boyd? Number 11, Aaron Finnerty, warming up for the Mainland Mustangs. Ken Williams throws up his hands.
I don't know, Chuck. I have no idea what they're going to do here.
Boyd's still in the game. Second, and we'll call it 12 for Mainland. First play of the fourth quarter. They give it on a trap to Stone, and he's got nothing. He is going nowhere. What a defensive effort in this second half by the Holy Spirit Spartans. That time, number 32, Frank Perry.
And Kirk Lazinski, number
and
40.
Kirk Lazinski on the tackle, stopping Mainland for a loss. And now it's 3rd and 16, Wilbert.
Chuck, you know, I kind of think that was a moral of victory because you're talking about Mainland came out with the win at their back and didn't make anything happen, and Holy Spirit has the lead right now. So they got the win in the fourth quarter.
3rd down and 17 for Mainland. They trail at 20-14. Boyd back to throw, looking for Clemick. It's intercepted again by Holy Spirit. The Spartans pick it off
Second
again.
interception again. Second
Number
interception.
97, the second interception for Tyler Vigue, Ken Williams.
Yeah, he's a 6'2",
Watch it again, Ken.
junior. He's done an outstanding job, Chuck, and he picks another one off here.
They're dropping those linebackers right into the passing lanes for Clemick, Wilbert, Montgomery, and they're going to have to come up with a different play there.
Well, Chuck, the thing is about it is that now that you got them on the run, and that's what you want when your team is being aggressive. Right now, Holy Spirit came out, and they are an aggressive team right now. They seems like they really want this game.
They're dropping those linebackers into the passing lanes. 1st and 10 for Holy Spirit, the football at the 37-yard line. They lead 20-14. Eddie Burns probably like to try to run the clock a little bit. This Ed Burns Jr. on a quarterback keeper, and we saw that a couple times the last 2 weeks, Wilbert Montgomery. You think that Eddie Burns has the option to call that play anytime when he sees the defense?
When he sees there's no man over the center and the linebacker that walked away, it's basically like just take the ball and just run up the middle. Try to get a good positive 5 yards out of that. And you can see, Chuck, he got 6 yards on that carry.
2nd down, and we'll call it 4.5 for Holy Spirit. They lead 20-14. 10:48 left. Mainland came in unbeaten, ranked 16th in the state, 5th in South Jersey. They're trying to get their first victory since 1966. Ulrich on the carry. He doesn't get anything as this Mainland defense, Ken, has been put under pressure in the second half. They've played well.
Yeah, so this is a different game. The first half was a lot of offense. The second half has been one score, but it's been defense and turnovers and defense and turnovers. So this game has gone from a wide-open offensive game in the first half to a much more defensive game in the second half.
3rd down, and we'll call it 4. Big play here for both teams. Holy Spirit's in the shotgun. Mainland's coming with a blitz. They show blitz. They come back. They come with a blitz off the corner. Complete to Smith. He's got the first down. Wilbert, that time, Eddie Burns Jr. read that blitz and found Paul Smith.
Well, basically, it's a simple throw and catch ball. You're talking about just getting the fullback out into the hash mark. And we talk about that hash game so much that Holy Spirit run is basically like get to the hash, settle down, and I will get you the ball. And that's what they're doing, Chuck.
1st and 10. Big play that time. Ken, they came with the blitz, and Eddie Burns Jr. burned them.
Yeah, I think they know what's coming now. He's throwing the quick pass over the middle. He's throwing the flare pass. He's throwing the screen to counteract it.
All right, they give it to Smith. He tries to dance outside, gets away from one man, can't get away from another's. Gets about 2 yards on the carry. 9:36 and running here in the fourth period. Second down, we'll call it 8. For Holy Spirit, they have good field position of football, just short of midfield. Mainland stands have been very quiet this half, Ken.
They haven't had much to cheer about.
Eddie Burns back to throw, steps up, fumbles the football. Mainland has it. The Mustangs have it. Number 73 fell on the football for Mainland. That's Ryan Herrigle with the recovery, and Mainland has it 1st and 10. Ken, let's watch it again, Wilbert.
Yeah, big number. Basically, all it is, Chuck. The thing is, what they was doing, it was just so much pressure that you're talking about.
Marcus Perry.
Marcus Perry's in front forehead on Burns that basically made him go to the run. And when he runs, Chuck, he puts the ball down low to his knees, and that can create a problem for
How
you.
big a series is this for Mainland, Ken?
Very, very big series, Chuck. They got good field position. They have got to maintain some offense here.
1st and 10 for Mainland. The Sal in motion. They give it to Stone. And Stone is hit hard by Holy Spirit. That's been the story of the second half. This great blue and gold defense has had its problems this year. But tonight in the second half, Wilbert, Montgomery, you're finally seeing the defensive effort Holy Spirit fans are accustomed to.
I'll tell you what, Chuck, these kids are playing good, hard-nosed football. Both teams are making a little bit of mistakes on the other side, dropping the ball on the ground. But outside of that, they are playing hard, physical football.
Well, defense causes turnovers, and that's why we've seen so many in the second half. The defenses are really bringing it to the offensive here in the second half. No gain for Stone. 2nd down and 10 for Mainland. The Mustangs trying to find something that'll work. And that time the Sal went in motion, and that's going to come back.
No, it's not going to come. It's going to be against Holy Spirit
Okay.
outside, Chuck.
Okay, I thought the Sal went in motion early. We'll await the call. Ken Williams right on the mark. Offsides, Holy Spirit, so that's a break for Mainland. Instead of 2nd and 10, 2nd and 5 for Mainland. A football at the 45-yard line. 8:09 left here, and we are heading for a dramatic conclusion. 2nd down 5 for Mainland. Jeff Boyd doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to take a timeout. Did not like the defensive alignment, and that is the
second
time out. Well, Ken Williams, you say first. First time out for Mainland. All right, so they have 2 left, and 7:57 left. Bob Coffey will go out. Ken Williams, I want to go to you. The Mainland offense has had really no problems operating all year. What has Holy Spirit done in this second half that has shut down this offensive machine?
Well, Chuck, I think their defensive front has just got very aggressive. Lazinski and Scher, Perry, Hunt, those linebackers, Nagel, Savini, Bennett, and Vigu, they've just been almost dominating in the second half. You know, Mainland's got to get a little bit more finesse up front. They've got to come off the football. They have just stymied them up front.
They've stymied the passing game to Clemick, and what they're doing, they're flooding linebackers into passing lanes. Now, Wilbert, when you drop linebackers off like that, what's an effective offensive play to use when you see the linebackers dropping off into the passing zone?
Bet you got to throw the ball underneath them, Chuck. You got to throw the ball underneath, and that's when you come in with the hash gain or doing something opposite. Make your action go one way and throw back the other way in order to take advantage of what the defense is doing.
All right, 2nd down and 5 for Mainland. They trail at 2014. They're trying to end 29 years of frustration. They set up a screen to Stone. He's got some blockers. Gets away from one man, gets away from it, fumbles the football. We'll wait to see, and it's Mainland got it back. Wow. John Stone had it on the screen, got away from one Holy Spirit defender who really came up strong to make the tackle. Let's watch it again.
Chuck, Hunt, you talk about Hunt. He's been over the field all night long.
Andrew Hunt
puts pressure on people.
He's playing the game of his career.
Yes, he is, Chuck.
And that always happens against Mainland.
That ball was loose right in front of the Mainland bench. You think that official was going to point the other way with all those people there?
I don't think so, Ken, but I think Hunt is basically coming up with a little bit of cramps now.
All right, the officials backing up the media. Big media contingent here tonight. I'll tell you what, this is dramatics, people, and we're bringing it to you. A historic broadcast. Simon's Cable Channel 2, the Betson Connection team. Chuck Betson, Ken Williams, and Wilbert Montgomery. You're looking at history here tonight. 7:46 left in the final period. Mainland trails at 20-14. They have a first down at the 39-yard line. 10 yards to go. Motion with DeSalle. Boyd's going to roll out. He's got some room. He lets it go. Complete downfield. He's got a man all the way down to the 15-yard line. Todd Michael, the tight end, Ken Williams. That's the play you told us about, and that time it was there.
Chuck, that's what they call the waggle. The quarterback fakes the handoff, bootlegs it, and looks for the tight end who comes from the opposite side of the field. Very difficult to defend at the high school level. Almost impossible because it's a crossing pattern, and it's very difficult to get those defenders, especially if they're playing a zone, to follow one receiver through the zone and pick up the other one coming back.
All right, the ball's at the 15-yard line after the strike from Boyd to Michael. I thought Boyd might run the ball there as he had time for the bootleg, Ken, and he let it go.
Receivers open.
I can't see if there's someone down over there. I said Hunt was having cramps earlier.
There is a man down, Wilbert.
No,
it's not Hunt.
53.
Can't make out the number there. Number 53 on the Spartans.
That's Doug Nagel.
Doug Nagel. I'll tell you what, I can't say enough about this Holy Spirit defense in the second half, Ken. They've been tremendous.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have, Chuck. And the Mustangs have not shown that tight end play all year, and they've come up with it here tonight.
1st and 10 for Mainland, a ball at the 15. 7:33 left in the fourth. Boyd has it on the keep, throws it out to Stone on the option. Stone gets about 5 yards, maybe 4 yards before he steps out of bounds. The ball at the 11. That stops the clock. 7:26 left. Here comes a play from Bob Coffey. They've been trying to set up that option. We mentioned John Stone did not touch the ball in the first half, and now he's become more a part of the game plan, Ken.
Yes, he has, Chuck. That's just a little diversity to try to get it outside. Two good athletes. I don't have enough fingers to count the times that Holy Spirit beat us with that tight end waggle, and tonight it's come back to haunt them twice.
DeSalle in motion. Boyd, and we have flags all over the field. Looks like the UN with all the laundry out there here in Linwood, and we're glad the rain held off. Strong breeze really coming across field now. We'll await the call from the officials. Ken Williams, did you see what it was? It looks like
Holy Spirit, Chuck. Maybe it's offside again here.
Offside against Holy Spirit. Offside, Holy Spirit. So that's a big play for Mainland. Takes the football down to the 7-yard line. And here's what the Mustangs are staring at now. 29 years of futility and a 2nd and 3.
Well, Chuck, right here, they
Tony
can't allow
Tedeschi, Chuck. Excuse me, Wilbert.
No problem, kid. They can't allow the turnovers right here. They'd been headed down here before and gave it up twice.
Boyd calls the signals. John Stone in motion. They give it to DeSalle, and a cross-buck trap. He scores! Tony DeSalle takes it in for a touchdown for Mainland, and now it's tied at 20. What a play by Tony DeSalle, a cross-back trap. He's the leader, Ken Williams. He's the man they look to coming into this game.
And a fine individual, Chuck. I played against his dad when his dad was at Holy Spirit High School. Another Holy Spirit Mainland connection. His dad
Wait a minute, his father went to Holy Spirit?
Outstanding athlete at Holy Spirit. Young Tony is here, and I'm sure it would make his father proud if that's the winning touchdown.
What a big extra point for Jason Feinberg. We're tied at 20, 7:06 left. Feinberg can put it up. It's up! It's good! And they're going crazy in Linwood!
Well, Chuck, the crowd had been down quiet. Now the crowd is alive again.
Crowd is alive here at Mainland with 7:06 left. The Mustangs have taken a 21-20 lead. There you see them. We're bringing it to you live on Simon's Cable Channel 2. It's been 29 years since Mainland has beaten Holy Spirit. Are we going to see it tonight, Ken?
I hope so, Chuck. But let me just say this. I want to say hello to a real Mainland supporter who has not missed many of these games, but he's a little bit under the weather, and that's Joe DiOrio. And I know he's home tonight watching this on cable, and I'm sure Ralph Glenn, another Mainland supporter, is. And I want to wish both of them well, and I'm sure that they wish they could be here.
All right, but let's say it right here. It's far from over. We have 7 minutes, 6 seconds. You have Eddie Burns Jr. back there. He's been throwing darts all night. Holy Spirit's got plenty of time. They don't have a field goal kicker, though. They're going to have to get it in the end zone. Ken, you know this game's not over.
Absolutely, Chuck. We could see 2 or 3 more scores. This is going to force Holy Spirit to open up a little bit, and this is going to force Coach Burns to show off young Eddie Burns and do what he does very well, throw the football. So this is far from over.
Kick important here, and that's the biggest extra point of Jason Feinberg's young career, Ken Williams. He split the uprights with that boot.
Sure is, and he's been in bed all week sick. Check, he had 104 fever the other day.
Flu affected the Mainland team this week. There were about 8 or 9 kids who were out with the flu.
Yeah, they were missing a couple of them missed a couple days, but they're.
Was that Holy Spirit flu? Was that the Spartan flu that they get the week of Holy Spirit?
I don't know, Chuck.
You knew they weren't going to miss this game tonight.
No, nor was I.
And Wilbert, how big is this kickoff here for field position?
Oh, Chuck, this kickoff is going to be real huge right here. But he's kicking into the wind. If he can get the ball down the field, it's going to be great for the main line.
All right. Spirit kicks it. Smith takes it. Has it. He's hit hard and gets out to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10, Holy Spirit. 7 minutes left in the 4th period. The Spartans trail by 1, 21-20.
Sevens are wild, Chuck. They need 70 yards for a score, and there's 7 minutes left.
And you got a young, strong arm in the backfield with the wind at his back and Eddie Burns Jr., so anything is possible at this point.
All right, Kenny, defensively, what do you look for Mainland here? What kind of set are they going to be in?
I think they'll play their normal 4. If he goes to the shotgun, I think that they'll rush people, but I don't think they're going to do anything different like that. Now they're going to do what's got them here.
1st and 10 for Holy Spirit. They give it to Paul Smith. He dips, he darts. He's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. His number 57, Nicky Wagner, came up big for Mainland. 6 foot, 185-pound senior Ken. He wants to be a member of the first senior class to beat Holy Spirit since 1966.
Not senior class, that first class, Chuck. And Pat Markwitz, who's a junior tackle, was also in on that play, number 56.
2nd and 9 for Holy Spirit. 6:10 left in the 4th period. Clock's moving. Eddie Burns in the shotgun and Wilbert. We have 3 receivers split out to the right side.
And it's in the shotgun, Chuck. You know, you always want to get positive yards on 1st down, and you want to get at least 4 to 5 yards, and they didn't do so.
Threw it over the middle of McNellis, incomplete, and Tony DeSalle laid a lick on him. What a lick DeSalle put on McNellis, Ken.
Yeah, and Chuck, by going to that trips, that takes away that corner blitz because the corner cannot blitz. So what that does is it gives Burns a little more time, and it puts 3 receivers out there. So that's a pretty good move by Coach Burns.
3rd and 9 for Holy Spirit. 5:55 left. A big play here for the Mainland Mustangs. They lead it by 1, 21-20 on the Tony DeSalle touchdown. A 7-yard run on a cross-buck trap. And now Holy Spirit trying to answer back. Burns back. Perry's pressuring him. Burns gets it to Ulrich. It's intercepted! Mainland has it!
Brad Eisler, Chuck.
Eisler all the way. Touchdown! Brad Eisler, Jamie Eisler's baby brother, may have just iced the first Mainland victory over Holy Spirit. Let's watch it again, Wilbert, since 1966.
Chuck, this is basically a simple pass. You know, fingertip pass. Safeties and corners are running across. You throwing the ball in the middle. You can catch the ball or it can hurt you if it comes off the hand.
It was a deflection, and Eisler picked it up and took it back about 42 yards.
That was 51, Chuck.
51 yards on the call. 51. Touchdown, Brad Eisler, and they're going crazy. Feinberg will attempt the extra point, and this is a big extra point because if he makes it, all Holy Spirit can do is tie with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Ball is down. Kick is up. It's good! With 5:43 left in the 4th period, the score, the Mainland Mustangs 28, Holy Spirit 20. And Ken, on that interception, Marcus Perry got tremendous penetration on Eddie Burns Jr.
Yes, Chuck. The ball was tipped upfield by somebody. And
Ulrich, it went off Ulrich's hands.
And then Eisler picked it off, went 51 yards. Big extra point. What that means now is if the Spartans score, they've got to go for 2. And the best they can come up with, unless it falls apart for the Mustangs, is overtime.
All right, and let's talk about that, Ken. In New Jersey this year, there is overtime. Explain to our audience the rules of overtime.
Okay, the ball starts at the 25-yard line.
Let's watch the interception again. Hold on, Ken. Off the hands of Ulrich. Look at Brad Eisler. Came out of nowhere. He's running into the history books. Touchdown, Mainland. Now, back to the overtime, Ken. Tell our listeners about overtime.
Ball's at the 25-yard line. You have 1st and 10, okay? And you have you can score. If you score, the other team gets the football, and they have the same opportunity that you do. It is not sudden death. Each team gets the same opportunity. When one team scores, the other team has the same opportunity and does not score, the game is over, and you have 3 possessions at the 25. After 3 possessions, if neither team scores, it is a tie.
There it is. Not sudden death overtime. Wilbert, what do you think of that? A little bit of different format than the NFL.
A big different format, and you're talking about starting off the field, ball on the field at the 25. That's a long way to move the ball up the field.
And a big advantage if we get to overtime with the Mustangs because of Jason Feinberg.
Very good point, Ken Williams. They do have a field goal kicker.
And when they flip the coin, they have options. Take the football or take the wind. And I'm sure if that was the option, Mainland would take that win and give Holy Spirit the ball first.
Squib kick. Picked up by Fishbein. He's got it at the 30, 35. Spins to about the 33, and that's where Holy Spirit will put it in play. 5:37 left. 29 years of frustration. Staring Mainland in the face. Ken, they came into this fourth quarter. We said it was a gut check. They trailed 20-14. They put up 2 touchdowns.
Yes, they did, Chuck. And I look down here on the sidelines, and I see about a half a dozen members of the 1989 team that's here that was undefeated and did not get a shot at Holy Spirit because of scheduling.
Eddie Burns Jr. back to throw. He's got time. Looks, gets it away. Incomplete. Looking for Nick Walker in the flat.
That was
Incomplete.
Nick Wagner on the breakup, Chuck.
Wagner.
But basically, Chuck, that was basically what I call it was dead routes because the receivers got the right depth and sit there, and they didn't do anything to move to get themselves open once they found themselves covered, and Eddie Burns was holding on to the ball.
Eddie Burns Jr. back in the shotgun. 2nd and 10 now for Holy Spirit. The Spartans have pretty much virtually ignored the running game here. Burns Jr. back to throw. He looks, he gets it away. It's complete to Fishbein. What a catch by Joel Fishbein. And he was drilled. He was absolutely drilled by number 30, Tony DeSalle. He held on to it. Wilbert, let's watch it.
Well, Chuck, basically, this is what I like about Burns because he has the strong arm. I don't see why they don't throw more balls upfield because he can make that throw. And the thing is that he can throw, they got great receivers can catch the ball.
5:08 left. Clock a factor now. Holy Spirit down by 8. They give it to Paul Smith. He dips, he darts. He's at the 50. He's inside the 50, still on his feet to the 47-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down for Holy Spirit. Game not over yet, Ken Williams. Let's watch it again.
By far from over, Chuck.
Paul Smith, Wilbert, you like the way he runs. He's not ready to quit yet.
I don't think there's no quitting either team tonight, Chuck.
Eddie Burns Jr. back to throw. He's looking over the middle. He's got McNellis. McNellis at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Just like that, touchdown, Holy Spirit.
Chuck, that's
touchdown, Holy Spirit.
That's the thing I was saying earlier, Chuck. I didn't see why they was relaxing, throwing little short passes when they can't push the ball up.
52 yards. Let's watch it, Ken. Let's watch it. McNellis running free.
Nothing but a crossing route, basically getting up the field, throwing the ball. And that's what I'm saying. Eddie Burns can throw the ball upfield, so why not use that weapon, Chuck?
What a football game we've had here tonight. I can't believe this. I wondered if this was going to live up to the hype, and I just got to congratulate both sides, Wilbert and Ken. Very emotional week. These kids have given us one of the more entertaining games I've ever seen, pro, college, or high school.
Excitement from beginning to end, Chuck. Enthusiasm, sportsmanship. This is what it's all about right here tonight. Anybody who look at the crowd around the fence. Everywhere you look, they're 2 and 3 deep. This is, Chuck, this is what it's all about. And anybody would pay $25 or $30 to go to Philadelphia when they could come out here and pay $3 to see
$3 for this,
That's
Ken.
Exactly right.
The best, and if they can't get out and they're senior citizens and they're at home, we're bringing it to them on Simon's Cable Channel 2. And I'm proud to be a part of this, Wilbert.
Chuck, this is a big 2-point conversion right here.
Oh, you're right about that.
Coach Burns is out on the field making sure that everybody's on the same page. And if they're on the same page, then he knows that it's going to be guaranteed 2 points.
4:26 left. Here's the situation. Holy Spirit just struck on a 52-yard pass from Eddie Burns Jr. to Donnie McNellis. Now the Spartans will go for 2.
And they're going to run that same play, Chuck. The ball's on the left hash. Look for him to run motion, trips, and have him roll that way.
Ken, you might have to go back and explain the sudden death again.
Not sudden death, Wilbert.
Oh, it's not sudden death.
That's right.
Okay.
It's overtime.
Overtime.
All right. Let's watch this.
Let's see if we don't get motion from number 27 here, Chuck.
81.
Here it comes.
All right, look for Burns to roll out here. He's going to roll right. Looking. Burns
81.
has time. Looks back. Tries to throw it. He's got a man. Let's wait for the signal. He caught it. It's good.
That was Fishbein, Chuck.
Fishbein went down low and was doing some landscaping here. And the official was right there. Let's
watch it again.
We'll see it again when let's watch it. Here it is. Burns back to throw. Fishbein slipped. Here it is. He got it right on the turf. He got it. And we're tied at 28 with 4:26 left. And again, Ken, the field goal, a big factor in this game with Jason Feinberg.
Absolutely. Holy Spirit has to hope for a deep kick. The Mustangs hope to try to get this field in good position and just methodically move that ball up the field, run that clock, and get somewhere down inside that 15-yard line and try to kick its winning field goal.
Wilbert?
I guaranteed again, I wanted to say it, Jim Barrett was the primary receiver.
Number 8.
He slipped down in the back of the end zone, and he had to go to Fishburne.
Hey, Wilbert, you like this high school football
I
down
love
here in
it,
Atlantic
Chuck.
City?
I love the Atlantic City football. This is great football, man. High school football exciting. Chuck,
right.
give me the pads. Let me say.
Wilbert wants to go in. He wants to put.
No, I just want to go on the field and just run up the field.
They could use him right now.
I just want to run down on the field. I don't want to go on the field, Chuck.
All right, we're tied at 28. What a football game. 4:26 remaining. I know we have a big audience all around the Atlantic City area. The people who could not make it here, we're proud to be bringing you this game live, and we're going to show it again tomorrow night. So if you didn't get enough tonight, you can watch it again tomorrow night, right after the Betson Connection CAL wrap-up show at 5. Now this kick becomes important. Short kick. It's going to be fielded by Jones. Dean Jones has it. It's going to hold on to the foot. Still on his feet. No, they blew it dead. Jones fielded that kick, and Holy Spirit was there to bring him down. Mainland will have it. 1st and 10, Ken Williams. They have time. 4:19 left.
71 yards away, Chuck.
Football at the 29-yard line.
Holy Spirit was just 70 away and scored. Mainland's now 71.
What a football game tonight. Again, both sides. There's been some turnovers, but it's been because of the hard hitting. Just a tremendous football game here tonight from the Mustang Corral in Linwood. Tedeschi on the carry.
Hunt, big 89.
Hunt in there again. Andrew Hunt, number 89. What a football game he's played, Wilbert.
Unbelievable, Chuck. This kid is, basically is playing, like you said, the game of his life. He's leaving it all out on the football field, and that's where you want to leave it at in a game like this.
2nd down and 12 for Mainland. We're tied at 28. Stone in motion. Boyd back to throw. He's going to be sacked. Perry's got him. Big number 32. Frank Perry all over Jeffrey Boyd. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 17. Let's watch it, Ken. He just broke through Perry.
He just beat the offensive man on that side of the field, came through, made that tackle. At this point, Mainland has got to get at least some of this yardage back to give him a little bit more room to punt. And again, they're punting into the wind, so this is going to be a crucial play right here.
3:10. The clock's moving. 3rd and 15 for Mainland. Boyd back to throw. He's going to put it up. There's nobody there but a Holy Spirit player, and he intercepts it. Flag down. A late flag down on the play as James Gervesi was there to intercept the pass. Let's wait to see what the penalty is here, Ken Williams. Did you see it?
No, I didn't, Chuck. I think that was Jack Bordenero that got the pass number 11, wasn't it?
Number 11, Jack was the one that came up with the interception,
yeah.
But again, it was holding against Holy Spirit.
Big call, Chuck.
Wow, what a call.
It was a big-time call.
What a call.
Evidently, the defender must have held the receiver, and that's why the ball was overthrown, and the official picked that up.
Yeah,
all right, that was Jack Bordenero. I apologize on the interception.
That flag came from a mile.
Where did it come from? Linwood? Summers Point?
It was a mile. It's thrown from a mile back in the
Route 9?
secondary.
There was nobody there at all. I don't know who Boyd was throwing it to, but
well, I'll tell you what, Chuck, that's first down, so that's a big play.
That's a big break for the Mainland Mustangs. Wow. Holding against Holy Spirit wipes out the interception. Automatic first down for Mainland, a football at the 34-yard line. Clock a factor now. We'll try to bring it in the screen for you.
Well, that's, Chuck, I get this from the spot. I don't understand that. It's third down here. I don't understand that.
It's not an automatic first down in high school football, Ken. Boyd back. He's sacked, and another flag. Now we're seeing flags from all over the field.
Yeah, that's
Boyd was sacked for a loss.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold, I think, against Mainland.
That's holding on Mainland there.
Wilbert called that one, holding on Mainland.
But
and they'll decline that, Chuck.
That'll be a fourth down. We have a player down as well.
That was a big play, a big defensive play, a holding call. You decline that, take the down, make it fourth down, and make Mainland has to make a decision to punt or go for it.
Chuck, that's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it's not an automatic first down in high school football.
But it's still 15 yards, Chuck. I don't think they marked 15 yards off.
You're right. They didn't mark because they didn't mark 15 yards off, Ken.
So I don't understand that penalty. I really don't. You know, I'm not very smart anyway, but to me that should have been very, very close to a first down.
4th and 7 for Mainland now. 2:46 left in the fourth period as we await the injury. Wait for the injured player to get up.
One thing about this overtime, Wilbert, we get double time for this, don't we?
Yeah. Talk to Piparato. He's right behind you.
Ken, that's a great analysis of that there. You know, overtime, double pay.
All right. Boy, we've enjoyed bringing this game to you on Simon's Cable Channel 2. And I'll tell you what, we're tied at 28, 2:46 left.
Jeff Boyd needs the punt of his career right here, Chuck, and he's gotten some good ones off, and he needs one right now.
Good punters, if you get it up in the wind, they can ride that wind.
Boyd gets a snap, kicks it away, gets a good one away. Back Smith up to the 38. Gets away from one Mainland man, cuts back, still on his feet. Paul Smith puts Holy Spirit in good field position at the 47-yard line, where the Spartans all have it 1st and 10 with 2:22 remaining. Wilbert Montgomery.
Oh yeah, Smith basically, you know, it's a great punt, great punt by Boyd, and Smith got a good 14-yard return on that, Chuck.
And how about these Spartans? They were down 28-20. They were looking at becoming the first Holy Spirit team since 1966 to lose the Mainland, and they came right back with a big strike from Burns to Danson, Donnie McNellis. 1st and 10 for Holy Spirit. The football at the 46. Eddie Burns going to give it to McNellis inside. He's stopped by a wall of green.
Chuck, at this point here, basically, I wouldn't just sit on the ball and just basically play it, you know, for a tie. You know, he proved that he can get in that shotgun. He can throw that ball upfield. Why not get back in the shotgun?
2nd and 10, Wilbert Montgomery for Holy Spirit. We're down under 2 minutes. You see the clock in the screen, 1:45, and we're rolling.
I think he would have to try to score here, Chuck, because I don't know if he would really want to get into overtime with Mainland's kicking game.
Eddie Burns is in the shotgun. Burns back to throw. He looks over the middle. Incomplete. He was looking for Ulrich. Just off his hands. Almost went into the grasp of Paul Smith. So it'll set up a 3rd and 10 at the 46-yard line. Key matchup to watch right now is Marcus Perry against Jack Murray. Let's watch that matchup. Perry's giving Jack Murray a lot of trouble.
And another thing is, too, Chuck, when he get in the shotgun, you see the all-out blitz coming from Mainland.
Let's watch 87 work on the tackle. This time he's working on Keith Sayre. I apologize to Murray. It's Keith Sayre. Key matchup. Watching that Marcus Perry. He's in. Fumble. It's on. Mainland has it. Marcus Perry came hard from his defensive end position. Eddie Burns tried to run the football, and Mainland came up with it. Ryan Herrigle for the 2nd time tonight. Let's watch it. Watch 87 come in and force Eddie Burns to go upfield, and then Herrigle falls on the football. And so now, with 1:19 left, Mainland has it at the 49. The clock is moving, and remember, they have a field goal kicker in Jason Feinberg.
They can't sit on it, Chuck. They got to come out with the passing thing.
Clock is moving.
Throw a few passes.
DeSalle in motion. Boyd has it on the keeper. He's swarmed under. He is absolutely swarmed under. And again, Frank Perry has had a tremendous second half for Holy Spirit.
And Kirk Lazinski again there, Chuck, too.
Kirk Lazinski in there as well. 46 seconds. Boyd's back to throw. Looks for DeSalle. Incomplete. Good coverage that time by Dougie Nagel, number 53, who's played a fine game at linebacker for the Spartans. So it's third down and about 11 for Mainland. The football just inside the midfield mark at the Mainland 49. Ken, what are you going to run here?
Chuck, he's got to try to get the first down. I would try that waggle and try to hit the tight end coming across the middle right now.
It's worked all night for him.
Yeah, 3 times consecutive.
Big play in the football game. You're watching the clock. They give it to DeSalle on a cross-buck trap. DeSalle's loose. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's down inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Tony DeSalle, they fooled him. They hit him with a cross-buck trap. And Mainland's got a first down with 33 seconds left. They're going to take a timeout. Let's watch it,
Tony
Wilbert.
DeSalle basically be able to break one tackle, get upfield, break a second tackle, and make a great move right there, pick up another 7 to 8 yards after he ran the ball very hard.
All right, 33 seconds left. The football's at the 23-yard line. Now, Ken, I want you to tell me, what is the range of Jason Feinberg?
Jason Feinberg can kick with pretty good accuracy from about 35 yards out. With this wind, I don't know tonight, which means they have to get the ball down somewhere inside the 20-yard line to give him any shot. If they can get the ball down around that 15, and again, this might be the time for the waggle, hit that tight end, throw that little flat pass, get the timeout, and give Jason Feinberg a shot.
Jason Feinberg's warming up on the sideline. There you see it, Kenny. He was a soccer player. He decided he wanted to come out and kick field goals for Bobby Coffey, warming up on the sidelines. He's a fine young man, a good student, loves sports. I think he wants to be a sports announcer someday.
Yes, he does. He's just a fine individual. Chuck comes from a fine family. His daughter, his sister is a freshman, and I understand doing a real fine job on that championship Mainland field hockey team.
All right, 1st and 10 for Mainland. The football at the 24-yard line. They have 33 seconds left. They need to get about 10 yards to get in the range of Feinberg. Boyd calls the signals. Boyd gives it to John Stone. Stone cuts back. Going to get about 2 yards before he's brought down.
I think they have one timeout left.
By Holy Spirit's 91 on that tackle. Matt
They're going to
McGuire
hurry up offense. They got to hurry the play off.
Another play real quick. They give it to DeSalle. DeSalle cuts it up, still at his feet, inside the 20, down to the 17. 9 seconds left. 9 seconds left, and Mainland's going to take a timeout, and now we're going to see Feinberg, Ken.
This is just about his range, Chuck.
We're going to see Feinberg.
But
it'll be at the 17-yard line. It'll be set up. It'll probably be about a 35-yard attempt.
I think that's within his range. He's kicking from the left hash, which is also good because he's had a little tendency to be wide right. By kicking from the left hash, that might compensate for that. Plus the fact the wind is blowing a little bit cross field.
The wind is blowing cross field, so he's got a cross field wind. If we can maybe get a shot of the flag, you can see how the wind is blowing here. But Jason Feinberg will attempt the biggest field goal of his life. He stares at a streak that began in 1966, a streak that's seen players like Greg Buttle and Doug Strang and some of the greatest athletes Mainland's ever had. There you see the flag. There you see the wind here. And he lines up now for what will be a historic field goal if he can make it for the Mainland Mustangs. 9 seconds left.
What's more important than the kick is right now, Chuck, is getting a good snap and a good ball hold.
Chris Laird will be the holder. It'll be a 35-yarder for Jason Feinberg. He lines it up. Laird, the holder. The snap is down. The kick is up. It's no good. It's blocked. Low trajectory. Low trajectory. Holy Spirit had good pressure that time and broke through the line of scrimmage. And with 3 seconds left, we may be looking at overtime.
We're looking at overtime.
And Ken, will you run down once again for our listeners how the overtime is played this year?
Okay, they will take a short break. The captains will go out. They will flip the coin. The team that wins will have options. They can pick the end, which they're going to play at, or they can decide to take the football. Right? Once they do that, each team will then start at the 25-yard line, and it's 1st and 10. They can get 2 first downs on the way to score. Right? If they score, the other team, it's the same option. If the other team scores, then they start again.
And how many times will we do it?
3 times.
3 times before we rule it a tie.
Yes, 3 times.
So in a sense, should Mainland get the ball first and score, Holy Spirit would get it back, and they would get a chance to score. And here comes Eddie Burns, blue and gold scarf and all.
I would be willing to say, Chuck, if Mainland wins this toss, they're going to choose to play this overtime opposite the scoreboard, which means the wind will be at their back. If Holy Spirit wins, I think they will choose to go the other way.
All right, now,
Again,
Ken,
who
let's
knows?
point something else out to our listeners. Suppose you intercept a pass and run it back.
It's dead.
It's dead.
It's
So
dead
you
at
cannot
that point.
score on defense.
You cannot score on defense, only on offense, yes.
All right, so we got to clarify that. Wilbert,
I'm
we're
just
giving you
gonna say,
education, high school
Education,
football down
101 football.
I want
high
to ask
school.
you both something. Can we see a better football game than what we've had tonight?
Chuck, this is a fine football game. This is a fine game, Chuck, all the way around.
And you know what? It's a shame that somebody's going to lose this game because...
Well, they may not lose it. It may end in a tie.
That could very well be
It very
true.
well happen. So there it is,
But
the
I'll
end of
tell you what,
regulation.
we don't want any ties,
Here
Chuck.
at the Mustang Corral in Linwood. We're going to overtime. We'll keep it right here, the score. Mainland 28, Holy Spirit 28. Feinberg never really got the height on that kick that he wanted, Ken.
I think he slipped, Chuck.
So we will have a brief respite here, and they will toss the coin again. And the winner of the coin toss will get to decide what goal they want to defend, whether they want the ball first, whether they want to go on defense. Ken Williams, put yourself in Bobby Coffey's shoes. If he wins this coin toss, what would you do?
I'm going to defend the goal as you're looking at the screen to the right because I have a kicker and the wind is blowing that way, and that could win the football game for me.
All right, so you would opt to go on defense first.
But let me tell you, Chuck, I coached this game for 20 years. I haven't won yet. So, you know.
Wilbert Montgomery, if you win the toss, and you're the coach that wins the toss, what would you opt to do?
Chuck, if I won the toss, I would go with the win. Just like I said, go with the win because too, you can pass the ball if you don't get an opportunity to complete in the pass. But if you do get it in field goal range, you can go for the field goal again. On the other hand, Holy Spirit has a strong arm in Eddie Burns, and they got to go for the pass at this point, Chuck.
And Eddie Burns, of course, rallied the Spartans. They were down 28-20, and he took Holy Spirit, a big passing strike, 52 yards from Eddie Burns Jr. to your favorite player, Dancing Donnie McNellis, Will.
You know what? You know, you call him my favorite player. You know, I'd like him, Chuck, because he's excited. You know, excuse me. If I had him on my team, I would try to at least get the ball in his hands as often as possible because he's quickness. He's excited. Once he got the ball, he makes things happen.
All right. And it seems like, Ken, as this game has gone on, I think people have watched it. They decided to come over. I think there's about 2,000 more people here now than were here at kickoff. Bob Piparato says, yes, indeed, there are more people coming. Some of them, I guess, watching it live and deciding they want to be over here to watch this historic football game at the Mustang Corral in Linwood.
And I'll tell you what, everybody's been well behaved, Chuck. It's just been an outstanding night.
We're going to take a break very quickly here on Simon's Cable Channel 2's coverage of Mainland Holy Spirit. We'll be back with more right after this.
In 1992, two great heavyweight champions.
Anyone who's doing surgery for male pattern baldness should be combining all 3 techniques. If you talk to someone who says, I only do hair transplants, hair plugs, you have to look further.
You know,
The World Wrestling Federation has given us great, wholesome family entertainment. Together we can reach a new plateau, and the new WWF generation will lead us there.
Join Mr. President live from our nation's capital for the greatest night in sports entertainment. Milton Bradley Karate Fighters presents the WWF Survivor Series, November 19th on pay-per-view.
So join my family and watch the WWF Survivor Series.
We're back with Salmon's Cable Channel 2's coverage of Cape Atlantic League High School football, a historic live broadcast from the Mustang Corral in Linwood. You see the score on the screen. We're getting ready for overtime. Both teams tied at 28. And now we will have the coin toss, and we will see which team opts to do what. Again, the overtime period, the team that opts to take the ball will get it at the 25-yard line. They'll have 1st and 10. They'll have a chance to get a first down, and if they score a field goal or a touchdown, the other team will get it 1st and 10 at the 25. If that team fails to score, the first team will win. If that team scores and the score is equal, we'll go back 1st and 10 at the 25, and that'll happen 3 times, and if nobody scores or if it's tied at the end of 3 possessions, it will finish in a tie. Ken, do you like this format?
Yes, I do, Chuck. You practice all week and you work hard, and you got to have a winner, I think.
Okay. Hey, I want to remind everyone that a week from Monday night, Wilbert, Montgomery, before the Eagles-Dallas contest, you'll be honored. They're going to do a little 10-minute video clip on you, Wilbert, and we'll look forward to that. We'll be at Viva's Lounge in Trump's Castle. They came and did a little bit of video on number 31.
They did, Chuck, and I think that's one way that they try to recognize some of the good players around the National Football League that went out and played hard. And for that, those reasons alone, I'm proud that they chose me this year to come in and do that clip on me.
All right, we'll look for that a week from Monday night. We want to invite everyone. Viva's Lounge, Trump's Castle, Betson Connection, Monday Night Football Party. But right now, all eyes in Linwood, Northfield, Summers Point, Absecon, Mays Landing, everywhere else on the coin toss. Who wins it?
Holy
Spirit wins the toss. And what are they going to do, Ken? They're going to do exactly what you said you would do. They're going to defend.
The goal to the left, it looks like.
To the left. It's exactly what they're going to do. Ken Williams told you what he would do. They want to defend the goal. They want to take the win. So Mainland will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 25, the way I read that coin toss, Ken.
That's right, Chuck, but that takes the kicking game somewhat out of Mainland's attack, and that's to me, that's a very, very smart move by Coach Burns. Not that I would have done it too, but that's a very smart move by Coach Burns, and I think he's given his kids
a chance
every
to win
opportunity to win this game.
All right, but Mainland will get it 1st and 10 on the 25, and now they have it with a chance to get some points. Now again, if they score either a touchdown or a field goal, Holy Spirit will get the ball back with a chance to match.
And again, Chuck, there's no clock in the overtime.
No clock, not a factor. But we do use 4 downs. They can get a first down.
Yes.
And you like this better than sudden death overtime, Ken?
Yeah, it gives you more of a chance. Sudden death overtime, whoever wins the flip of the coin has an advantage.
Okay.
This way, both teams have the same advantage.
All right, and of course, Ken, this rule just instituted by the NJSIAA, and it had to take a vote of coaches and athletic directors, correct?
Yes. And let me just say one thing. This game started at 6:30 tonight. It's now 9:15. They have a curfew here at 9:30, and they've had some problems with some of the neighbors. That curfew has to be changed, and this is one of the reasons right here tonight.
All right, 1st and 10, the football at the 25. We're in overtime from the Mustang Corral. They give it off to Tedeschi. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. He's down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Tony Tedeschi, 1st down, Mainland. And it'll be 1st and 10, the football just inside the 15. Let's watch it, Wilbert.
It's basically a sweet play, Chuck. Basically good executing at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line did a tremendous job of opening the hole that time.
All right. Mainland has it, 1st and 10, the ball inside the 15 at the 14. Boyd calls the signals. They give it to DeSalle. DeSalle hit hard. Gets about 2 yards before he's stopped.
Great second effort, Chuck. Great second effort. He wound up getting about 4 on that play, and when he was hit.
2nd down, we'll call it 7 for Mainland. The football at the 12-yard line. We're in overtime, and you're watching an historic broadcast on Salmon's Cable Channel 2, brought to you by the Betson Connection. Boyd calls the signals. Stone in motion. They're going to give it to DeSalle. DeSalle's through the line. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Mainland. Tony DeSalle will call it a 13-yard run. Now Mainland will line up. And Ken, this is interesting here. As you watch the play again, DeSalle just took it in off left tackle. Mainland will go for one. If Holy Spirit scores and goes for two and make it, they win.
That's the game, Chuck, but they've got to make that 2 points.
Okay.
If Mainland misses, then the touchdown ties, and the worst that can happen is overtime again.
All right, Feinberg's going to attempt the extra point. A big kick for Jason Feinberg. Snap is down, the ball's up. It's good! So, Mainland on the first possession of the overtime. Sticks it in the end zone on a 13-yard run by Tony DeSalle, and now Wilbert Montgomery, you get a view at this. Holy Spirit will get it 1st and 10 at the 25.
1st and 10 at the 25, and they march down to the other end
of the field, Wilbert.
And they get an opportunity to throw.
No, actually, they'll keep it right down at this end.
Keep it down at this end.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, Chuck, even though they're keeping it down this end here, it's going to make it tough now for Eddie Burns because
that's right. He's throwing against the wind.
The ball. He has to throw against the wind.
So we didn't point that out. While it was probably a wise move for Eddie Burns to take that goal
Chuck,
into the wind.
But he's going to throw short into the wind, so it should not affect him that much.
Okay. Strategy coming into play here on Salmon's Cable Channel 2's historic live broadcast. Mainland trying to stare 29 years of frustration dead in the eye. They're looking now at some great Holy Spirit teams, some terrific Holy Spirit players. And now the Spartans, who have been up against it for the entire fourth quarter. They were down 28-20. They rallied. Now Holy Spirit will try to answer. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Eddie Burns Jr. is in the shotgun. He's back to throw. He's looking. He's got the tight end over the middle. Complete to his tight end over the middle.
That's
Bob DeMary, 6'3", 180-pound senior. Let's watch it, Wilbert.
But Chuck, basically, we have seen this play here 3 weeks in a row that basically he throws the ball to Mary in the hash game when he gets back in that shotgun. He looks for number 81 all the time when he's in that shotgun.
1st and 10. No, I'm sorry, they didn't get the first. It'll be 2nd and 1 for Holy Spirit. The football just outside the 15. Burns is back in the shotgun. Eddie Burns Jr. back to throw. He completes it over the middle.
Flag on the play.
Flag down on the play. It was complete to Walker over the middle. A flag is down.
Right, yeah.
See what that penalty is. Ken, did you see what the call is?
No, and I didn't even see who threw the flag, Chuck.
Came in late. It's the linesman.
Let's watch it. Holding Mainland. So
that's 15 yards. They'll take that penalty, Chuck.
Well, they're at the 15 now, so it'll be half the distance, Ken.
Yes.
Half the distance to the goal line. Bernie Marzek talking it over with the official.
Very interesting, Chuck, now to see if they score, what Coach Burns will choose to do. Will he go for one and tie it, or will he go for two?
He's got to go for two. He doesn't have a kicker.
Well,
he's going for two the whole game. So it'll come, if they do score, it'll come down to a two-point conversion. 29 years of frustration, 29 years of history. You're watching it on Channel 2.
But Chuck, I didn't understand that penalty. It was 2nd and 1, but yet
automatic first down, Wilbert, with the penalty.
Yeah.
Automatic first down with the penalty. 1st and goal from the 9. Eddie Burns Jr. gives it off to Paul Smith. He gets about 3 yards down to the 4. Nicky Wagner holding on for dear life.
Chuck, have you ever seen a complexion of a game change? First half was all offense. Third quarter, early fourth quarter was all defense and turnovers. And now we've come back in the last 4 minutes and overtime, and it's all offense again.
All right, we may be looking simply at one of the greatest high school football games ever played in the Cape Atlantic League. And I'm not understating that. With all that's at stake here tonight, Eddie Burns going for win number 100. Mainland trying to stop the streak. 2nd down. The football's at the 5. Holy Spirit needs to score. Burns gives it to Smith. He's tackled first by Wagner, and then by number 42, Kenyatta Brown.
Chuck, this is
Let's watch the replay, Ken. You'll see Nick Wagner in early, makes initial contact, and then Kenyatta Brown came up to stop it, along with Brad Eisler.
He saw that hole from he was a linebacker on the opposite side, the hole open. He shot that gap and made the play.
Unblocked.
Great play by Nicky Wagner.
3rd down and goal from the 5. Holy Spirit needs to get it in the end zone. Burns back in the shotgun. He sets. He looks. He throws it. Incomplete. Incomplete. He had Fishbein out there and just underthrew it a little bit. So now, on Salmon's Cable Channel 2, it all comes down to this.
And now, Chuck, he needs 2 big plays. He needs this one for the touchdown. He needs a 2-point conversion. Is this deja vu? Is this Absecon over again? 1st and goal at the 3 last week.
Well, I was thinking of that same thing, Ken, because of 2. He ran 2 plays up the Miller. When this is a game here, you got to throw the ball into the end zone if you want to tie the game or win the game.
And here comes Eddie Burns in his gold outfit, his scarf, his blue and gold scarf. What a game he's coached out here tonight. He's going for victory number 100. His team was down 28-20 and didn't quit. 53-yard pass from Ed Burns Jr. to Donnie McNellis. A football just outside the 5.
Chuck, let me mention these coaching staffs because they've done a tremendous job. Coach Burns and his staff, Bill Sprouse, Mike Burns, Chris Bell, Mike Tierney, Steve Bell, Mark Ulrich, Sam Rando, Harry Bowers, Bill Wentz, Mike Charlton, John Knowles, Jay Connell, John Slattery, and Tim Gallagher. And for the Mustangs and Coach Coffey and his staff, who's also done an outstanding job, Brian Tetley, Matt Jamison, Carl Geisinger, Jeff Kuzak, Brian Booth, Chuck Smith, Rich Keppel, and Sam Nutella.
All right, here it is. Not since 1966 has Mainland been able to beat Holy Spirit. They need to stop him here. They'll make history. Burns back to pass, looking, under pressure, throws it. It's intercepted! And for the first time since 1966, the Mainland Mustangs have defeated the Holy Spirit Spartans. Let's watch it again. Ken Williams, 35-28. Burns was back. He was looking for McNellis. They had double coverage. He tried to throw it back over the middle, and they're going crazy here in Linwood. Absolute bedlam. They're out in the field, storming the Mainland players, and this Mainland team finds its way into the history books as they become the first team since the Mustang squad of 1966 under Andrew Prohaska to defeat Holy Spirit, and they do it in overtime, 35-28 on a touchdown run by Tony DeSalle. Ken Williams, your thoughts?
Chuck, very fitting that Tony DeSalle, the team leader, the kid who's held them together all year, the young kid whose father played at Holy Spirit, comes back, and he is the one who scores the touchdown to end the streak, and I just can't say enough. It could not happen to a nicer kid because they don't make him any nicer than Tony DeSalle.
All right, and we'll try to get down to Lucy Jones. She's going to try to get some players. Right now, Bobby Coffey's going to call his team over at midfield here. There you see the celebration here in Linwood. In overtime, in a game for the ages, a thriller in Linwood Villa. In overtime, Mainland 35, Holy Spirit 28. Wilbert, what do you think of high school football down here?
Well, Chuck, I think it was a great game, great atmosphere. Look at the kids, look at the fans out there on the field. This is what football is all about. It's the game at its purity. You saw 2 teams basically fought and they played very hard. Unfortunately, one team had to lose, and Holy Spirit was victim of that.
And look at the kids now shaking hands. Both teams come together. You see them shaking hands. There's Eddie Burns coming over. Classy move. We can get a shot of that. There they are at mid. We're going to go down to Lucy Jones. We'll wait.
In 1992, 2 great heavyweight champions turned in award-winning performances. When it was over, Riddick Bowe was the new champion. A year later, there was a sequel. It was another classic. This time, Evander Holyfield got his revenge. Bowe and Holyfield will fight again. Only one can be the best heavyweight in the world. Live from Caesar's Palace on pay-per-view, Saturday, November 4th.
Fellow Americans, our future is bright. The World Wrestling Federation has given us great, wholesome family entertainment. Together, we can reach a new plateau, and the new WWF generation will lead us there.
Join Mr. President live from our nation's capital for the greatest night in sports entertainment. Milton Bradley Karate Fighters presents the WWF Survivor Series, November 19th on pay-per-view.
So join my family and watch the WWF Survivor.
Well, Chuck, right now we're waiting for Coach Coffey. He's having a meeting with his team. As soon as I can grab him, I'm going to try to ask him a few questions. But this field is total mayhem. As you can see, everybody is all over the field. It was probably the most exciting high school football game I've ever seen, and certainly was all that it was hyped to be. And hopefully we're getting Coach Coffey right now, and we'll just stand by for a couple of minutes. I'll be able to get him to interview him. Back to you, Chuck.
Lucy Jones down on the field. Thank you, Lucy Jones. Again, Bedlam here in Linwood. They're playing We Are Family, going crazy in the stands.
Lamar, can we go out there?
Wilbert Montgomery, it came down to overtime, and it came down to a touchdown run by Tony DeSalle. As we look back on this game, the ebb and flow, just so much. Big plays started off for Mainland. They blocked the punt. DeSalle took it in on a 7-yard run. That made it 7-0. Then, Holy Spirit answered back. Paul Smith took a 22-yard touchdown pass from Eddie Burns Jr. The 2-point conversion failed. It made it 7-6. On Mainland's next play from scrimmage, quarterback Jeff Boyd hit Rich Klimek 60 yards for a touchdown. The kick was good. Mainland led it 14-6 at the end of one period. In the second period, Donnie McNellis scored on a 13-yard run. The 2-point conversion failed. And Mainland went in at halftime with a 14-12 lead. And then turnovers really plagued the Mustangs in the second half. And they fumbled the football. Holy Spirit was able to convert as they scored on a touchdown. .26 yards. Burns to Fishbine.
Yes,
Burns to Fishbine, 26-yard touchdown. And they then converted the extra point, made it 18-14, and Mainland trailed. And it looked bad for the Mustangs. It looked like the streak was going to continue. But then Tony DeSalle scored on an 8-yard run, and Mr. Eisler, Brad Eisler, scored on a 51-yard interception return, and that put Mainland up 28-20. But Holy Spirit roared back as Eddie Burns hit Donnie McNellis for 48 yards, and we were tied up, and we had to go to overtime. And on the first possession of overtime, Mainland got a first down, and then Tony DeSalle, his name will live forever in history here at Mainland. He took it in from 7 yards out, and Holy Spirit had to answer, and the Spartans were shut down. They could not answer as Eddie Burns' 4th down pass was intercepted by Tony DeSalle. All right, and we have some of the highlights. Let's take a look back at some of the great moments from this historic night in Linwood. We're going to look now at the block punt, Ken. You'll see DeSalle was back together to block punt, and it was picked up.
That was Dustin Grandy that picked it up and ran it down to the 6, Chuck.
All right, now we'll see the first touchdown of the night. Wilbert, what was this?
Basically a sweep out to Cassell, and he basically, did what he did best all night. Hard, physical player, Chuck. That boy, young man, can play.
But Holy Spirit comes right back. You'll see Eddie Burns roll out and hit Fishbine. I'm sorry, this is Paul Smith. And he gets it in the end zone, Wilbert Montgomery.
Yeah, Paul Smith basically been really hard-running player for Holy Spirit all year long.
And then the next play from scrimmage for Mainland, 2 plays, touchdown. Here is Boyd to Klimek, and he took it in for 60 yards.
Yeah,
and Mainland led it 14-6. Now watch Holy Spirit come back.
Pulled back. That's basically
dancing. Donnie McNellis takes it in for 13 yards, and at halftime, Wilbert Montgomery, it was a 14-12 football game. Now the Spartans come back. You're going to see Eddie Burns roll out, and there's Fishbine in the corner. That was a touchdown.
Based off an early turnover.
And that
to Fishbine.
To Fishbine. And it was 2014 here. And now you're going to watch DeSalle take it in. And that was a touchdown that tied it. And, of course, Jason Feinberg added the extra point. Now you're going to see the Eisler interception. Eddie Burns back to throw. It goes off Ulrich, and there's Brad Eisler taking it back. 51 yards. And right now it looks like Mainland's going to walk away with the game. But the Holy Spirit Spartans refuse to quit. 48 yards, Eddie Burns Jr. back to pass. Donnie McNellis wide open. He's running through Linwood. He's running through Northfield. He's almost an Absecon touchdown. And they got the 2-point conversion, and it was tied up. And then, in overtime, Ken Williams, Mainland was able to get it in the end zone on a run by Tony DeSalle.
Chuck, I think it was DeSalle that intercepted that last pass, too.
It was DeSalle who intercepted that last pass. And we're going to try to go down to Lucy Jones if we can. It's mayhem down there as the Mainland Mustangs continue to celebrate at midfield. History made here tonight in Linwood. Ken, your thoughts about the end of what has been a horrible streak for Mainland fans?
Chuck, all I can say is thank God for overtime. Whoever put it in was a godsend. My congratulations go out to Coach Coffey and his staff. My congratulations also to Coach Burns and his staff. They did a fine job. It's a shame there was a loser tonight, but again, after 28 years of this, if there had to be a loser, as like Keith Levan said the other night, I'm glad it was Holy Spirit rather than Mainland.
All right. We're going to take a break. Simon's Cape. Pardon me? All right. We're probably not going to be able to get down on the field. There's just too much mayhem here in Linwood. We'll try to get Bob Coffey on the air tomorrow on the wrap-up show, Simon's Cable Channel 2. We got a lot of people to thank here. I want to thank both athletic directors from Mainland, George Avinsky, and from Holy Spirit, Ed Burns. Also, I want to thank everybody at Simon's Cable Channel 2, Bob Pipperato, who was on site here, Bob Lund back in the studio, also Justin Lefevre back in the studio. Very hard to do this kind of live broadcast, never been done before. Our director, and sometimes tonight I couldn't hear him, Country Jack Hagan, our director. Also on the field camera, Lamar Clark. And now we have Lucy Jones. Let's go down to Lucy Jones. She's got Bob Coffey.
To defeat Holy Spirit in 30 years.
Well, it's more in my work.
I'm here with Coach Bob Coffey, who just defeated Holy Spirit for the first time in 30 years. Congratulations, Coach. How does it feel to be the first coach to defeat this team in 30 years?
You know, the kids did it tonight. I feel wonderful. I'm so happy for the community. I'm so happy for the kids. You know, they worked very, very hard for this, and it didn't come easy, and we knew it wouldn't.
Coach, I have to ask you this question. What kind of mixed emotions did you have going into this game, having played 3 years on the Holy Spirit football team?
Well, you know, I love Holy Spirit, but I have no mixed emotions. You know, I've been here so long. I'm part of this community. I have no mixed emotions.
Congratulations again, and now you can go celebrate with your team. Great game. Back to you, Chuck.
Once again, the final score here from the Mustang Corral in Linwood. In overtime, the Mainland Mustangs 35, the Holy Spirit Spartans 28. For Ken Williams, for Wilbert Montgomery, this is Chuck Betson telling you, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching high school football. Thanks for making the Betson Connection.